We are live with another episode of the Keeg Talks. Today, the Keeg Talks Supergirl. This is our Supergirl 101 episode. Does not mean it's the 101st episode of Supergirl that we're talking about. No. This is an introductory sort of podcast episode on everything Supergirl. So if you're listening, if you're watching us live, you're watching us on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or maybe you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts from. It doesn't matter how much you know about Supergirl. Hopefully this podcast episode, this live stream, will, be entertaining or educational in one way, shape, or form. Whether you don't even know, one thing about Supergirl versus everything about Supergirl. Hopefully this is fun for you guys to watch. If you guys are watching us live, hop in the chat. Let us know you're out there. youtube.com/The Keeg Show. Let us know all about Supergirl and everything you like about Supergirl. I see a good amount of people watching. Who am I? I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. And yes, if you're watching us live, hop in the chat. And if you're watching us live, you can see who our guests are. Both of our guests are first-time Keeg guests, which is amazing. Unless, unless something crazy happens and it's like, oh, why did I do this? Why did I invite these people? No, I'm just joking. They do amazing content, so I'm just going to introduce them. First, we got Ophie, aka Uncanny Ophie, on the show. Ophie, thanks for coming on to talk about Supergirl.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for inviting me. I was so excited when you asked.
Yeah, I'm super excited to have you. I am not going to regret either of you coming on this because I think just by the fact that we all want to talk Supergirl means that we got common ground.
Exactly.
We also got God tier Jade, Meg. Meg, how's it going? Welcome to the show. Also first timer.
Yes, thank you so much for having me on. Sorry for cutting you off mid-sentence too.
No, it's okay. First thing, I'm used to being cut off. I don't know if you've seen any of our previous guests, but everybody talks way too much. So don't worry about that. It's a battle. But what I wanted to say, Meg, is that I saw your Kate Bishop cosplay.
Really? Oh, I love her. She's my favorite character.
It's her original. It's her original, like.
Yeah, her Hawkingbird suit. I had the really great opportunity to organize a Young Avengers 2005 photo shoot for the 20th anniversary. So that was like my baby. It's pinned on everything, and I had a great time with a great group of people.
I love the Young Avengers.
They're like, don't get me started because I will talk for the entirety of this Supergirl podcast about them.
And I mean, normally, yes, I would say let's just talk Young Avengers, but we got a job to do,
Yeah, no, we got to promote this movie.
Maybe next time.
I mean,
yeah,
if you like.
As much as I love.
There's a good amount of people here hopping in the chat saying hi, Ophie, love Ophie and Meg. Hi, Meg. It's pretty much every single combination of Meg and Ophie and Meg. So it looks like you got a lot
just
of
like our Instagrams.
A lot of fans out there. We're here to talk about Supergirl. And I'm trying to figure out where to start with Supergirl because at the very least I would expect just people to know that like Supergirl is related to Superman. Mm-hmm. And Superman's cousin. Not everybody, I guess, knows that. People who do couple costumes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I don't even want to. That I was gonna bring that up too.
They do.
They should know. They should.
I hope so.
Hopefully. But I mean, this is really just an introductory episode to everything Supergirl. So I guess like I want to know from you, because again, first time guests. What's your guys' like earliest experiences with Supergirl as a character? Because there's been so many iterations of Supergirl, whether it's comic books, whether it's cartoons or movies or maybe video games. I'm trying to think. Injustice 2. But anyway, the point being is, what's your like earliest memory of Supergirl?
I think for me, my dad was a big like superhero, like Superman, Batman fan. And so he would always have stuff like playing at the house and like going to like see stuff. He had like art on the walls. So I'm pretty sure like my first introduction to her was like seeing probably like a picture of her and Clark together like in our house really young. And like then being like, she's blonde and like she looks like my dad's favorite character. So like that's me. And then I think I didn't ever really learn more about her until probably like the CW show started really coming out. And then that was like my real introduction to her.
I feel like the CW made an impact, definitely,
Yeah.
on like mainstream.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. And I
pop
feel
culture.
like definitely like looking back at it now, like as someone who knows more of like her lore, I'm like, it's like not the best iteration of Kara, like, but it still holds like a very special place in my heart.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Meg?
That's a pretty good piggyback for me because I grew up like a musical theater kid, Gleek. So when they announced Melissa Benoist was gonna be playing Supergirl in CW, I was like, oh my God, I'll check it out. So I only really watched a couple of episodes because then I got busy with like the theater and stuff, even though I have heard her iteration of Kara is more like a female Clark than anything of like the Kara canon. So I would say like my first iteration to like an accurate characterization of Supergirl would probably be when she was in World's Finest, the Dan Mora run.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I do love that run.
I mean,
she's not in too much, but it did get
but
me
she's there.
interested in the character. But she's there. She's there. I have the poster of it. I'm staring at it behind my computer right now. I can't turn the camera.
What issue, like, is it the cover, like you have the poster of the cover, or of just of
one,
Dan
right?
Mora's
So I have the poster that they give to comic book stores because my big thing is when I was in college, I would go to my comic book store every Wednesday and just shoot the shit with the guys. And I really like the way Dan Mora draws all these characters. So I was like, you guys giving that away anytime soon? And they're like, you want it? I'm like I can take it off the wall. And they're like, yeah. I'm like, yes. But she's in one of the issues with like one of the first issues with Dick.
Yeah.
And then they really go in
They're like
and
fake date
they fake date and then they have to get rescued by Clark and Bruce.
Yeah.
I love watching or like reading that issue specifically because it's just their dynamic is so funny. And it's not one that you get to see in like much other stuff.
Especially because of like the age changes that she's gone through, that Dick's gone through, that Babs has gone through. Like that dynamic didn't really exist before that I really liked them together. Yeah. Not like together, but like they're
like as a duo.
Yeah.
We're definitely going to go through the history of Supergirl because the character herself has a very interesting history where essentially she comes into continuity and then she gets erased from continuity. You know, she dies, she comes back to life. It's not really her. Then she comes back for real. Then the universe resets again. Then she comes back again. Then so that's DC Comics for anyone out there.
Yeah.
For people who are new to comic books or these characters, but want to know more about it, but maybe they're not like cracking open books or know where to go. It's hard to figure out like what the continuity is.
For sure.
And I think the easiest answer to like DC Comics continuity is like it's always changing, so you just kind of have to like pick the pieces that you kind of like and just kind of go with it.
When they're like, "Oh, is it canon?" You're like, "Maybe."
Yeah.
Is it canon?
Right.
Can't tell you.
Yeah.
To some, maybe.
Yeah.
Yes.
My earliest experience with Supergirl is the Superman the Animated Series cartoon, and I have a big thing about like DC where most of my favorite adaptations are just the animated series, like adaptations of characters, and so I didn't realize until later that Kara isn't his cousin technically in the cartoon. She just like gets adopted as his cousin. So I guess to kick this off, in like a couple of sentences, how would either of you describe Supergirl as like a character? How would you pitch Supergirl, I guess, maybe?
I would kind of pitch her, at least for like an audience of like like general audience of people who had never seen it before, especially young women who are looking to see if they could connect with the character. I would definitely describe her as like an eldest daughter archetype, which is really funny because she's technically not the eldest anymore. Uh, so I think I would just like it's not like a your ordinary girl, but with powers. It's more of like she has the weight of literally the entire world of Krypton on her shoulders.
Yeah.
And she has to find a way to move past that, but still kind of revel in her culture and her personhood.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to mute myself for a second because an ambulance was going by so loud. But I would say I do think that that's a really good comparison of like the eldest daughter, like kind of like everyone's relying on you, weight of the world on your shoulders, even if that's not necessarily like what's happening, that's how she feels. Um, but I think also as like a general, like broad, like intro, I would say like she is kind of an example of like what would have happened with Superman if he could remember what had happened to him. And like how going through like everything that he went through, he doesn't remember it. He was a baby. But if he had been there and he had witnessed it, what that would have done to a person.
Yeah, it's a good perspective on like generational trauma and how it affects people differently.
Yeah.
So that's a
Or at
really
least
great
especially like in her new iteration.
Yeah.
hmm
Because that, I mean, that's the thing about DC Comics continuity, and I'm a big continuity. Um, I don't know what the right word is, but I'm just really into continuity. So I'm like, okay, let me figure out how this all makes sense in my head because I gotta, you know, order it all. Because Supergirl came out in 1959.
Yeah.
She's been around for a while, and 1959 is a lot different than 2026. So over those decades of Superman and Supergirl and DC Comics adventures, her origin story changes a lot. Do
Yeah.
you guys have a favorite origin story or like an origin story that you think of when you think of like Supergirl?
Yeah. I mean, I feel like for me now, especially it is very much like the woman of tomorrow, like Superman, Batman, um, one, like her most current iteration.
Yeah.
Just because one, I think because it is like the current one, but also I find that story of hers the most compelling.
The one specifically from Women of Tomorrow,
Yeah.
where the piece of Krypton, Argo City, I think it like it like
Yeah.
breaks off and then they like
Yeah.
build the lead to kind of keep the radiation from.
Yeah. Because I mean, that part is still taken from like her original backstory.
Yeah.
They just never really expanded on it back then until like later. So I like that it is kind of like, oh, we're taking back like this first idea that we ever had of her and we're just making it a lot more meaningful.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I feel like a lot of the time in the older comics, origin stories aren't like, they don't spend too much time on origin stories. They give you like a page of like a couple of panels of like Bruce Wayne training. Oh, I shall be a bat. And then he's like, is Batman. And so like it's kind of the same with Supergirl. It's like, okay.
Yeah, like I didn't realize until I was like looking at it this week, but like they never even like named her parents. Or like they named her dad because it's like Clark's dad's brother, but they never named her mom or anything until like years later.
What is her mom's name? I know her mom's
Allura.
Allura Inze, I think.
Inze, yeah.
Yeah. Also, trying to wrap your head around Kryptonian naming conventions, that's a different level of geek. It's so tough.
Yeah.
But yeah, that origin story. I mean, again, the Superman the animated series that was from the 90s, like her origin story there was she was from Argo, a different planet, but it was like a sister planet to Krypton.
Yeah.
And then they got put into stasis and then Superman found her. Somebody in the chat brought up a point that kind of ties in with this and the weirdness around Supergirl. Farce Endor says, "Yep, it was still during the time DC only wanted Clark to be the only Kryptonian.
Best son of Krypton.
Well, because that's why they ended up doing the whole like,
kill him,
you know, like because they wanted her to be, or they wanted him to be the only Kryptonian, and so then that's why they like did the like get rid of her, bring her back, kind of, but like she's not Kryptonian, so like it's okay.
Yeah.
I kind of love seeing how narrative decisions and that stuff kind of shapes how people are retconned. Like there's a ton with Ms. Marvel and how that was shaped by like MCU, like legal battles with rights and stuff, and how you can see it even bleeds. Kara's story bleeds over into the animated series, which is then re-retcon, which again, I guess this new movie is then gonna kind of alter just a tad to make it what fits in with their universe and how the comics might end up reflecting that.
Yeah. I think what non-comic book fans also don't necessarily realize is that comic book continuity, first thing is multiple timelines, alternate universes, that sort of thing in comics, but also it never matches up one-to-one with any other adaptation.
Oh no, right. Not even close.
No.
Especially once it's live action, like
then you're just hoping that like one thing stays the same out of the backstory.
You're like, oh my gosh, her name is Kara.
Yeah.
That's how I feel about the most of the MCU. But
if the changes are for the better in that universe, if it works, I'm like, okay. Like the Guardians of the Galaxy.
I feel like there's a fine line. And the line to be walked, my personal opinion, is based on whether I like it or not. So
yeah.
So I'm like, there's actually a really fine line, and the line is what I want.
Yeah.
Because it's so
the line
personal.
is my line, actually.
The line is what I decide the line is.
Yeah.
And you can't decide the line for anybody else or yourself. I decide that line.
You decide it for everybody?
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
So basically, listen to me.
Your username is God Tier Jade, so
so like basically
that's pretty high up.
God.
Yeah, I'm up there. The character it's based on controls all the planets, so like this is a planet. There we go. I'm sorry, my cat is like staring me dead in the eyes, and I'm hoping he doesn't walk in front of the camera.
I was gonna bring up that because of Supergirl's like weird history and everything, and because of like not being or Superman being the last Kryptonian, basically what had happened with Crisis on Infinite Earths is like Supergirl dies, and then they kind of like reboot the universe, but they still keep it in the thick of things. So some things happened previous and some things didn't. They do it again in the New 52, but we'll get there, I guess.
Who's considering New 52 here?
New 52 has some hits, but boy, does it have a lot of misses.
A lot of misses.
Yep.
A lot of them.
A lot of.
I said I'm gonna keep Maxima, and that's like one of the few things I'm like, yeah, sure.
I stopped reading a lot of DC comics at the New 52 time, so.
And no one blames you.
It sucks because I'm so diehard DC. Like I love Marvel, I love DC, I love all comics, but DC as a universe is like my favorite.
I get that.
So I feel like I had that journey recently of like I was a Marvel fan my whole life. Like my dad was always very much like split half and half, and I was always like, ew, like DC, except for like whenever I would like go with him and like see like his art and stuff, then I'd be like, oh, okay. But then like 2 or 3 years ago, just like very rapidly was like everything is DC from here on out. And I just like forgot all of my like Marvel.
No, you still read a decent amount of X-Men, I feel.
I do. I stick mostly to X-Men though.
X-Men is my absolute favorite.
Yeah.
But separate than Marvel. Like it's just its own thing.
Yeah.
I feel like for a lot
X-Men
of people,
is like its own thing.
Yeah. I feel like that's true. Like I'm more of like I pick characters over universes.
Yeah.
So like I will read, that's actually why I have my base level knowledge of Kara, is because I somehow in 2021 was like, I'm gonna get really into Superman. So then I had my Clark thing, and then for DC, it's like Clark, Steph Brown, Dick Grayson, like those. And
Yeah.
then Marvel, it'll be a bunch of characters that are mostly Young Avengers. But
Young Avengers are super cool.
I like the Champions too.
It's the it's the younger heroes. Because again, I like Young Justice, I like Teen Titans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Young Justice is my team.
Yeah.
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 I've got my Khan, my Tim, and my Bart.
Wow, it's almost like a forks found in the kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
I love that. That's what I grew up on. I grew up like on that Peter David Young Justice stuff.
It's like one of my favorite runs, like ever.
It was like Tim Drake will always be my Robin. So
don't get her started. Don't get her started.
I love Tim Drake. I'm looking around and I'm trying to I guess I have one Tim Drake action figure over there, but it's not the right one. It was a gift.
Didn't you just get?
I don't know if you. I was like, I don't know if you can see that I have 3 behind me right now.
3 Tims?
Yeah, hold on. I'm grabbing him.
Shout out to everybody who's in the chat right now. I see y'all. You guys are great.
With the receipts.
Hold on.
Still in the box. Yeah. Favorite. So I'll use this to pivot, but really quick, favorite costume for Tim.
I did really like his like the standard one. I think that they've like given him recently. Like, no, I was gonna say, are any of them on here? But like, I think it was the Rebirth look where it's like the black pants, the green boots with the gauntlets, the red, the black and yellow cape.
As long as it has green on it.
Yeah.
Then
but I am also a fan of the Young Justice, like with the tights. Like it's one of his newer ones.
Yeah. I do like the current Matt Fraction Batman run Tim Drake, even though it doesn't have green on it. So that kind of
It's very reminiscent of his like post Superboy, pre like Red Robin, when he's like, I'm making it red and black in honor of him. Like, yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, you're okay. You're a shipper.
Oh yeah.
We can't. This is a Supergirl episode, so we gotta.
We can't get into it.
We can't get into it.
But
it'll get too much.
I am very intrigued. So, great. So, with Supergirl being like this character that came around in the past, and then basically, she's always been, for the most part, Superman's cousin, right? And a lot of emphasis put on the fact that like she remembers Krypton, and she whereas Clark doesn't, because he was a baby. Now, what had happened, at least in current continuity and whatnot, I don't know whether this was that way in the Silver Age, but essentially what had happened was on Krypton, she is older than baby Clark. And then when she comes to Earth, for some reason, she comes to Earth after Clark has aged up. So different stories say it in different ways. There's a black hole in the CW. There was the Phantom Zone. Something goes into stasis, something doesn't. But essentially, the baby that she has been sent to protect no longer needs protecting. In fact, protects the whole world, right? And so things are a little bit off with her and her journey when she gets to Earth. I felt like that was just such a good way of like giving her like story a little bit of gravitas.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
I don't. It's kind of sad.
Yeah.
It also horribly depressing.
Like repetitiveness. Like I know a lot of characters are starting, especially ones that are just created, are starting to fall into like the same archetype where you're like, I like this character, but it's basically that other character. And I think Kara in a lot of adaptations can fall into kind of the same thing as Clark. So I'm excited for this movie to be very clearly differentiating the two.
Yeah.
And yeah, for anyone who didn't know, we're kind of doing the Supergirl 101 episode because the movie comes out in like a week and a half, right? And so so the goal is we kind of get a taste of this character, and then the movie comes out, and who knows what'll happen in this movie, right? But yeah, the idea that like Supergirl is different than Superman is kind of like a more modern take on the character.
Yeah, for sure.
The
'Cause I feel
CW
like
show was a little, was
Yeah, the CW show is very much this is Superman.
Yeah. I have a lot to say about like the CW universe, but I do think for what it was, I really loved it. But it also just very much was like they wanted a female Clark.
Yeah.
Like even down to like her being like a journalist.
Yeah.
Which I'm like, I don't know that
I feel
Clara
like
would
a
ever
lot
do
of
that.
DC adaptations have been falling into that where like they don't care about the source material character. They just want to see this character in this fun suit on the big
Yeah.
screen, which is why I'm excited for this reboot of the DCU.
Yeah.
They did it like the Birds of Prey movie.
Mm.
Fun, good time, like a decent watch, but if you know DC,
Yeah, I don't know that they've ever
actually
read a Birds of Prey comic.
I watched that movie before getting into DC Comics. And when I got to Cass Kane for the first time, and she's one of my favorite, bar none DC characters, when I started reading Cass Kane comics and realized that was supposed to be her in the movie, I just like put my head in my hands.
That's kind of just the problem with being a fan, I think.
Yeah.
And a fan of a medium that doesn't get as much respect as like the movies do, right?
Exactly.
And truth be told, Cassandra Cain in that movie should have just been Holly Robinson or somebody like a street
or make up an OC at the very least.
Yeah.
Like find a way to bring that in without it being that character.
Right.
Like she's not quipping like that.
It was a weird thing.
It was a weird choice.
Yeah. That being said, I love Birds of Prey.
Oh my God. No, me too. I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. Just the cast was phenomenal. And I think they did a great job with the script they were given. It's just like, that's your
whoever was in that writer's room.
Yeah. I don't know what they were doing there. I don't think any of them had ever picked up a comic, but I think that's why podcasts like this are good because a lot of people are like, oh, well, I don't want to read a comic. And I totally get that. But comics are just way more accessible than people think. Like there are entry points and they're not hard to get into.
Yeah. Especially like with like lists, like I feel like especially like in the lead up to this movie, a lot of people have asked me like, oh, like I want to know more. Like, what do you recommend? And then like, like asking like a friend that is interested or like so many people make lists online. And like we were talking about League of Comic Geeks before we started, like people have like the community lists there. And it's like really easy to like, if you know what to look for, to find a great entry point into any character or any timeline.
Especially with Supergirl, the Tom King Woman of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
You can read that as a standalone with no problem. Like I remember I was one of those people that asked you for Kara recommendations because I
remember
really
begging you, being like, please read this with me.
And then I read it and it was beautiful. I didn't have too much, again, I don't have too much like background knowledge of Kara outside of a Clark context. And I just think it was so well done and so well explained. And you could, without a doubt, pick it up today in a trade paperback and understand everything.
Yeah. I feel like we all have this in common where people ask us as content creators, like, what do I read? Where do I start? That sort of thing. And it's kind of tough because, again, for saying Supergirl came out in 1959, are you reading that Action Comics? What is it? Action Comics 252?
Yeah.
Do you have to like start with there and then just keep reading from there? No, not really. But the way I try to formulate it, I think it comes down to like who that person is. It's not like a one size fits all sort of recommendation. It's, I guess I ask them one of like a couple of questions, which is, are you just looking for one comic to read and that's it?
Yeah.
Are you okay with starting in the middle of things, or do you need to start from the beginning? That's another question. And then 3, how much research do you want to do or would you be interested in doing outside of reading the comic?
Yeah, no, I agree. Whenever I recommend to people, I'm always like, I can catch you up to this point. I can give you standalones, XYZ. I try to make like my reading guides like more bite-sized
Mm.
just because like I usually do like a required list if you want to understand the character and then a separate optional list like if you want to delve deeper and when to read it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Recommendations are huge, but it's also like everybody reads in different ways. Like,
Yeah, oh, for sure.
Yeah.
What do you guys have like a first Supergirl comic that you read? Not like necessarily what you would recommend to start with, but like, did you start with like something that was like generally recommended to like, okay, it's a good start? Or did you just like throw yourself in and you're like, I don't know what's happening here, but I like it?
Yeah, I think I kind of had just like thrown myself in and like seen her more as like cameo in other stuff
Mm.
at first, and then just liked her and wanted to know more, and then just like dove in. And like I'm very much like a, when I put my mind to something, I'm like I have to know everything. And Kara very quickly became like one of those characters where I'm like I have to know more. And like even now, like as like a big fan who has like done the research and like read the comics, and like to go back into like through a history that we've talked about is very confusing. Like I still get confused with it, but it's like I don't know. I don't know where I was going with that, but
It's just confusing. It's
yeah.
um yeah. Meg, were you gonna say something?
Uh, no, I pretty much dove into it as well. Uh, the first like super big, almost character study type thing of Kara that I saw was season 2 of My Adventures with Superman. Uh, and then when I was looking to read comics, I literally just asked Ophie, and they told me to to read Woman of Tomorrow, and I really enjoyed it. I haven't gotten the chance to read too many comics this year yet,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna probably pick up a couple Kara ones after the movie comes out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And no one should ever feel pressured to like
Yeah.
watch something or read something that they don't want to
Oh, yeah,
read.
totally.
I mean, there are
I
a lot
just,
of people out there that are.
yeah, I just don't have time to read anything anymore.
Yeah.
I still haven't read Absolute Wonder Woman, and it's an affront to humanity.
Yeah.
Absolute Wonder Woman's really, really good.
It's
I
so
know, and
good.
I love Kelly Thompson too. She's my
Ugh,
goat.
literally
So
the goat.
she is why I got into comics. My first comic ever, well, besides Unbeatable Squirrel Girl, was West Coast Avengers 2018.
Mm.
And that is like what really kickstarted. It's my favorite like intro comic to read because it feels like westernized in a way that I know it's not like an anime type thing, but it's like you can jump in and it's colloquial language and
Yeah.
everything and appealing to a female audience.
Yeah. Is that the West Coast Avengers run with Kate Bishop?
Yeah,
and
it's Kate and Clint, America,
Yeah.
Gwenpool. That's Jeff the Shark's first appearance.
Yeah.
Quentin.
And
Or
then Quentin, yeah, that's a weird thing they do.
Yeah.
And
so
then
random.
Alloy and Fuse, who haven't been in too much, but
Yeah,
that was where they were introduced. I would like to see them used more though.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
read that so long ago. I don't even remember it very well.
Yeah. Well, there's the handsome MODOK.
Yes,
Oh,
when
yeah.
MODOK gets the plastic surgery.
And he still has
Yeah.
a big head, but like he's just
Yeah.
like an
There's
Abercrombie model.
that, and then like the giant, they turn everybody into the giant animals plot line. It's silly and it's fun and it's not too
Yeah.
high stakes. And then Kate, America, and Clint are 3 of my all-timers. So
Yeah. Oh, I love all of them.
For people out there who may not know about like Crisis on Infinite Earths, it was this big multiversal like crossover event, 1985 I think to 1986. And that's where you get the cover of Superman holding like a dead Supergirl. And like as
The
a
iconic
kid,
cover.
it's an iconic
Yeah.
cover. As a kid, I mean, I wasn't alive back then, but like as a kid looking at that cover, I was like, is that like actually Supergirl? Is Supergirl dead? People don't die in comics.
Unfortunately, they
Oh,
do
they
way too
do.
often.
they do. They all just get revived 3 issues later
Yeah.
for a plot device.
Yeah.
But-
So that was very confusing to me. And then I was like, okay, but there is a Supergirl now in the 90s. What is her story? And if you're familiar with the Matrix Supergirl, it's not Keanu Reeves the Matrix. It is a protoplasmic being that can shapeshift and take the memories of Ophie. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, no. Was it actually Matrix, or was it like the like, because there's Matrix that like takes over, and then like there's like the protoplasm that like Lex created.
Yeah.
That like, but I don't know if that's what saves her or if that was the problem in the first place.
It was essentially, from what I remember and what I gather, there's the Matrix that is Supergirl, so no human side to her. She just turns into Supergirl, but then she merges with Linda Danvers.
Linda Danvers.
To then be like a composite being.
Yeah. Well, because then she's like, she gets injured and she's like dying, and then like it like tries to like save her. That's what it was. It was like Linda Danvers was like hurt and dying, and then Matrix like merged with her to try and heal her. But because she was like getting like covered in it, it like merged with her instead of just healing her. And then they became one person.
A lot of sense, because I didn't know anything about Linda, and I read a comic with her earlier this year, and I was like, low-key, who is this? Like I'm all for jumping into comics, and I read that one and did not like really look it up afterwards. But
was it the Sophie Campbell run?
It was the Valentine's Day special.
Oh,
was Linda.
Right.
Yeah. I read it for the Wonder Woman.
The Valentine's Day one, that it's like the title is like Supergirl in Love, or
it's Supergirl, but it's like an anthology piece.
Yeah, it's like one of little like, it was cute.
Yeah, one of my favorite artists was doing the Wonder Woman, so I was like very excited because she doesn't usually do comics.
Who was it?
It's Ariel, I might butcher her last name, Javellano Años. She did the cover for the Lois Lane Girl Taking Over, and she has a booth at New York Comic Con every year, and I have spent so much money there, like a ridiculous amount of money there, because she understands what the people want.
I gotta reread it. I think I have it. I think it's in my bookshelf.
It's cute. The Guy Gardner one kills me too.
How to Lose a Guy Gardner in 10 days?
The one.
That one?
I don't remember if that's the title. It's the one where he's trying to give a gay guy dating advice for women.
Oh, I don't know.
That was this year's. Okay. It was this year's.
Yeah, I was gonna say I remember the Valentine's Day special from last year better, mostly because I remember the one where it was like Damien had a crush or something like that, and so then he went to Tim for advice, and Tim was like, "You're asking me of all people
for girl advice."
Right.
I said Tim's girl history didn't work out too well.
No.
They got 2 pregnancies.
Wait, who got 2? Stephanie Brown.
Steph was pregnant twice.
Steph was pregnant twice?
Was it twice?
I think it was. I'm pretty sure it was twice, unless I read it wrong.
But then I also remember like it's not actually hit, like she just like got pregnant, and he didn't know how it worked, so he was like, I must have gotten her pregnant when I kissed her cheek.
Oh, poor
and
Tim.
It all revolves back to Glee.
And it all comes back to Glee. You're so right.
He was on that wine cooler in the bathtub, or the hot tub.
I unfortunately, I went a good amount of seasons into Glee before stopping.
I think I watched everything but the last season. I never finished
the last season is like, it goes into like the Riverdale level of they're just only doing it for camp and nostalgia factors, and they couldn't get half of their cast return. So it's just like, it's weird. They do a Saw Trap episode. It's like, my favorite thing in the world. You actually have to watch that one, where Sue Sylvester like does a Saw Trap for Kurt and Blaine and makes like a little like Billy the Puppet version of herself that tricycles out. It's crazy. I love it.
No, yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah.
I would love for a listener who like was just like tuning in just to like learn more about Supergirl. They didn't know they didn't have any personal attachment to any of us. Right. They were just like, what's up with Supergirl? And suddenly we're talking about Sue Sylvester
on a little tricycle.
I think Supergirl would rock with it. She might. We don't know.
Well, Sue Sylvester energy was very much like Cat Grant energy, wasn't it? Like in the CW show, like the antagonistic
the
kind
CW
of.
show.
Yeah, I would
CW
say,
show.
yeah, she's there. She's there. Let's bring it back.
Yeah.
And
we're
Melissa
back to
Benoist was in
Supergirl.
Glee.
It's okay.
Darren Criss was in Glee. We got it. It ties back.
So whereas I grew up with the 90s Superman cartoon where yes, there was that editorial decision that Superman had to be the only Kryptonian, which meant General Zod was different in that era of comics. Supergirl wasn't Kryptonian. Superboy specifically wasn't even half Lex, half Clark. Back then. He was just an amalgamation of the DNA of the Newsboy Legion that had grown up. He was just like a psychic human kind of clone.
Too many retcons.
Character. He was just a weird mix of people. Then there was like the Superboy that was with the Legion of Superheroes, and they got super affected by not having other Kryptonians because they just couldn't do anything. And so there was a lot of editorial stuff with that. That being said, around like 2003, maybe, they finally bring Kara Zor-El back in Superman Batman issue 7 or something like that. It was after their first arc. Yes, exactly, Ophie. That cover.
I think it's 8.
And everybody kind of like was applauding the return of Kara Zor-El because Linda Danvers was not Kara Zor-El. And so this was the Kara Zor-El in this new continuity coming in. Ophie, I would assume, read that book. Meg, did you read that one?
I did not, but it is interesting to see like the return, especially for an editorial purpose, and how that's kind of explained away. I always like seeing that. Like you look at like when they had to retcon Scarlet Witch and stuff, like you look at that and you're like, I know the reason behind it, but how are we doing this in universe, you know?
Don't get me started on that. It hurt. It still hurts.
Oh my God. No, it pisses me off.
The Scarlet Witch Quicksilver loss is like the biggest hit to X-Men lore.
It's brutal.
Yes. I don't play about Pietro, so I
love Pietro.
I him and Lorna both. I read all of the Wanda comics, but I'm not as much as a Wanda girl as the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, now that they U-turned Polaris to be his biological daughter.
Yeah,
when originally it was the opposite
she gets to be his biological kid.
Yeah.
But Trial of Magneto was like, even though you're not my dad, you're still my dad. And then like he's allowed to be the grandfather, but he's not allowed to be on the family tree that just came out. So I'm like, where are we going with this? What's gonna happen?
Pietro really only works because he's the spoiled brat of like this mutant messiah. Like he's
like a rich kid. He's a rich kid who doesn't like
comics are weird. What do you
Supergirl?
I want to talk about the CW Supergirl because I feel like both of you have a lot of opinions about it. So with the Arrowverse, so the Arrowverse, which was really just starting off with, well, did either of you see Smallville? That's a different thing, but it's...
Let's talk about it.
Let's talk about Smallville.
I never watched all of it.
Okay.
My two of my best friends are like obsessed with Smallville to the point where like my wedding gift to them was I met Michael and Tom and had them hold up a sign saying like congratulations on your wedding, and then my friends cried over it. Smallville, again, I'm going to bring up Riverdale for a second time in this podcast, but Smallville was like the spiritual predecessor to Riverdale, in my opinion, in that like the source material, like you can see it a little. It's like not fully there, but for what it is, it's like good, entertaining, campy television, especially when you go back and watch it. Like I watched it in, I think, 2021. And you're like, oh, these effects are terrible. I love it.
And then occasionally you'll see like a clip online. You're like, oh yeah, that was in the show, huh?
Well, the clips online are sometimes better because over 10 seasons of Smallville, there's a lot of fluff. There's so much fluff.
It's definitely an episode of the week type show. Like you can tell it was meant for network.
Yeah. I'm trying very hard not to date myself by talking about everything that I grew up with. But Smallville was one of those things, and it was huge. And like I stuck with it for all 10 seasons. And it was like, because it was the only superhero media on TV, like really, you know? And like
especially live action.
Yeah.
Everything was animated.
Yeah. Especially like of the big two also, right?
Yeah.
DC or Marvel, because there are like comic adjacent live action shows that came out around that time that were not good and wasn't worth watching. But Smallville, the premise of Smallville was it was all about the time before he becomes Superman. So they had like a rule, no flights, no tights. And then they kind of like got around those two rules. One is he can only fly when he's like brainwashed or his Kryptonian personality like comes in. Okay. Or no tights. He didn't wear tights, but he wore like a black leather jacket with like with the Superman logo, then a red leather jacket with the Superman logo.
It's so funny to see how people get around rights agreements. I still haven't caught Spider Noir yet, but based on like the notoriously horrible licensing agreement that they allow for Spider-Man media and how it affected the Sony universe, I'm very interested to see how they kind of circumvent that in that show.
In Spider Noir. I have thoughts, but it's not, it's not here nor there.
Not here.
But Smallville did a thing where they would introduce a lot of the Superman characters. But they have to take place before he becomes Superman. So it got really weird. And like they kept like the genie comes out of the bottle and they got to bring it back in, right? Like they have to I don't know how many times they did that. But in season 1, or it may have been season 2, they introduce a Supergirl that isn't Supergirl.
Yeah.
And then later they introduce actually Kara. But
I'm not gonna lie, I really think the decisions that they made on that show were all based on what can we do with the limited rights we have, and then in the later seasons we didn't expect it to go on this long. Especially
we're riding that high.
Like they're like, oh, we get to bring in Lois. Oh, we get to bring in Superboy, played by Ryan from High School Musical.
That was weird. Yeah.
Let's just keep doing stuff.
I always forget that, and every time you mention it, it makes me laugh.
It kills me. It's my favorite thing. Because he really hasn't been in much else outside of High School Musical and Smallville, and it's just such a weird overlap to have.
Yeah.
That's my niche right there.
They brought in a lot of characters.
Yeah.
In the later seasons, that they brought in the Wonder Twins.
Yeah.
Like they brought in so many. They had Deathstroke. They had Slade.
Yeah.
But he looked like John McCain. If you remember John McCain. Like
that I didn't expect to hear that at all.
Why does Slade look like John McCain? And he had like this like fencing sword kind of thing. And
it's like, the CW. You're gonna like it. This teen drama is gonna give them superpowers. They're all gonna end up polyamorous.
But you would have thought they would have done what they did with like My Adventures with Superman, which is make Slade young and like
like a young like control. Yeah.
But no, they went the complete opposite.
They went with John McCain. I was just about to say something. I'm like I can't. I don't want to. I was like, they actually brought him back from war to play this part.
Yeah. And then they were like, okay.
They're like, okay, maybe that wasn't our best choice.
I think I don't know. Anyway, Smallville was weird, but again, it's the little pieces of Kara that we get. By the way, real quick, Kara or Kara?
I think it's Kara.
I've said Kara. But I also know that like it can depend on pronunciation. Mm-hmm. Like they say Kara in My Adventures, which is where I started saying Kara.
And CW.
But,
CW Supergirl was Kara, right?
Yeah. I feel like I used to say Kara. And then I think like with like the CW one, and then like somebody else was like, it's actually Kara, and I took that to heart.
I also feel like I'll flip between pronunciations just on what my brain decides to say. I do that a lot with Ms. Marvel too, with Kamala versus Kamala.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's just like, what's the vibe right now? Like, what are other people saying? I'll just go with the flow.
I feel like anyone who like grew up in the 90s, it was Kara. Because like in the cartoon, it was Kara.
Yeah.
And I always equated it to, I always told myself like growing up when I was a kid, I was like, I can never marry someone named Kara because if she takes my last name, then it's Kara Perera. And nobody wants a rhyming name, you know? So, but maybe Kara works. Maybe there's so
Yeah, there you go. Make her change the pronunciation.
Yeah.
And then I become, it's Kara Perara.
I think that would be probably worse if it was Kara.
It might be.
So CW though, we get CW because it spins off kind of off the Arrow and the Flash show.
Yeah.
But it starts off as a separate universe because it's on CBS. The first season is not even CW, and it's like another universe. I knew that.
Like I probably knew it at the time, but like that totally didn't cross my mind.
I feel like I completely forgot that, honestly.
Yeah. Well, and that's why Kat Grant leaves the show because what's her name?
Callista
Flockhart didn't want to move to Canada to film.
Yeah.
So the first season not filmed in Canada, like Arrow and Flash were.
Yeah.
And then I think they filmed in LA. And then second season when it moves over to CW, they film in Canada. And then the cast changes a little bit. So I feel like CW Supergirl is probably most people's like, just by volume alone, most people's like Supergirl. Like introduction, all the different storylines, the supporting cast, and that sort of thing. Is that fair to say?
I would say so. Like based on
like especially like our age group.
Yeah.
Because that was like it started coming out when we were like what, 14?
Yeah, like teenagers. Because she left Glee in like 2014-ish.
Which honestly, that's also why I started watching it.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of the teenage crowd came over from Glee. Like we may have been pissed off about the people who were added after the show was technically supposed to end and they started beating that dead horse. But I feel like a lot of people were like, oh, this is on. I don't care if it's a superhero show. Let me try it out. And like it also has such a big like standalone fan base just because of the amount of people who ship Kara and Lena. Like it has a lot of like, it's not just superhero fans, but it's also CW teen drama fans. And it's also people who were looking for a really good gay woman fan fiction fans. Yeah. So I think it's like, it's overlapping and it's bringing in people who wouldn't typically be interested in this kind of media.
Yeah.
And I think also like another big part of it is like, for me at least, I think it was like, I don't know what else there was, but like, it was like the first thing that I had seen really that was like a woman was like the superhero.
Yeah.
And like, I know that like there was like the Wonder Woman show and like all that, but it was like before like,
but for this age
movies and like, so I'm like, for me, I was like, oh, I didn't know that like they could like make that.
The only thing comparable is in the 90s with Xena, Warrior Princess.
Yeah.
We're talking like a female-led, you know, sort of action-packed.
And I feel like that had its own like intersection of those kinds of fan bases too, which is why it feels like it's just for a new generation.
Yeah. Xena was definitely for Tumblr kids before Tumblr was even a thing.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
I don't know if you guys have seen the show Hacks, but they do a whole plot line on the last season where the main agent character, he's like, I really want to show a Xena rewatch podcast. Like, I really want to put on a Xena rewatch podcast. And they actually get things of the show because he finds people in like their like late 30s ish. And he's like, oh, you like Xena? You want to listen to this rewatch podcast? And I think it's like, it's good at demonstrating the audience and the types of people that would like the same kinds of things.
Yeah. It was definitely kind of a similar thing, but it's rare that a show like that comes around because they don't want to, especially in live action. In animation, it's a little bit different, but even then, the animation versus like boy animation,
right?
It's a different
Especially
thing.
Nowadays with the way review bombers are acting about any female-led project. Like, you still open all of the Supergirl comments, it's like, will not be watching, ugly, and it's like the ugliest man you've ever seen in your life saying that.
And
So
like
it's
all the
like
people, like the discourse that was happening all last week about her freaking pierced ears. I'm like, I cannot keep having the same conversation. I cannot.
like, and then James Gunn, thank God, had to go on and debunk, like, it's on a red sun.
Right.
It's explainable in one sentence.
Yeah. I mean, to find something that James Gunn hasn't already thought about, it would be tough.
It's
like,
difficult.
I feel like,
he does his research.
Yeah.
And that's why, like, him doing his research just means so much that Supergirl is what he's chosen to be his second movie.
Yeah.
And
Like,
I will also say something that I do particularly like about James Gunn is that man is kind of chronically online.
oh yeah.
Like if somebody says anything in his like threads or his Instagram, he's like, don't care, didn't ask. This is why you're wrong.
Yeah.
And
I respect that.
The 10 minutes that I thought Ella Purnell was going to play Maxima were the greatest ever until he immediately went on threads and was like, not true. And I was
like, don't debunk that fast.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be more to this Supergirl movie than we know. I think there's going to be some big, like,
especially setting up Man of Tomorrow too. Like, I obviously don't want all of Supergirl's story to be a setup for the next Superman movie, but I think it could have like major threads that unravel and eventually lead to that.
I mean, there's a non-zero chance Wonder Woman appears.
In Supergirl or Man of Tomorrow?
I think, well, either or, but, well, there's definitely the longer you wait, sure, more likely it's going to happen. Yeah. I don't know, because I saw an interview with Anna. Is it Anna Noguera?
Yeah, the writer, because she's doing both movies.
Yeah, and that they were like, will we see Wonder Woman in this? And she goes, I can't say. I can't tell you.
I think she did just turn in her finished script for the movie, and they did say after Superman came out that they were going to try and fast track a Wonder Woman movie. So whether that's the Adria Arjona's character in Man of Tomorrow or someone we haven't seen yet in a post-credit reveal, like, I definitely think she's coming soon, and I'm very excited to see the take on that, especially with someone who has proven himself to be interested in like comic accuracy.
Yeah. Not that the Supergirl movie isn't good enough on its own. Just
no. I just think starting off with two women characters, especially in the first couple years, is so good. And it also signifies what things like the CW Supergirl have led up to, and movies like Black Widow and Captain Marvel, because we weren't allowed to have that even 15 years ago. Like, they vetoed a Black Widow movie until she was dead. Which I don't want to get into it. But
I'm gonna say that was a big contention.
But it also, I'm really glad because it shows James Gunn's commitment to these things. I am a little worried with what the Paramount merger is going to do to it.
Yeah.
I am worried about that. That doesn't, I don't know. I don't know what to think.
Especially with the amount of like, I don't want to say censorship, but like, that's going on.
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, I think James Gunn resigns. I think James Gunn resigns.
I think
if they don't let him tell the stories he wants to tell, he's gone.
Because that's part of his contract. I think his contract is specifically he tells the stories he wants to tell.
Which is phenomenal, and I'm really glad and hope they honor it with, I'm assuming there's some kind of free transferability or alienability clause in his original contract. Like, I can't imagine there wouldn't be, but with especially like the strong, like, not overtly political, but like politically relevant takes he had in Superman, like, I'm hoping they don't water it down with them.
Yeah, because I like was kind of gagged at how blatant they were. and
I
Superman.
agree.
I remember walking out of the theater after seeing it last year and being like, everyone has to go watch this right now. Like I
And
already
then
was gonna do
every
that,
man.
obviously, but then I was like seeing that, I was like, that's crazy, and I admire that way more than I can put into words.
Yeah, no, I really appreciated it. And I think that's what kind of spurred me to do even more DC than I had in the past.
Yeah.
Especially because, like, it also was weird because so many people did not get the point of that movie. Like, you go online and the people who are like, we just won 10 million movies with Corn Sweat Superman, but I don't want a girl superhero. I'm like,
Yeah.
it's about being kind to everyone, and
Right.
you're bashing this critically acclaimed actress who has been on HBO and everything, Netflix and everything in between because you don't like how she looks.
I think
She's
it's,
also gorgeous.
yeah, I don't
Like,
even think it's about how she looks. They say it is,
Yeah.
yeah,
They
but
say it
that's
that's
is, but it's
why.
like,
more the fact that she's a woman, probably.
Yeah,
it's classic, like, guy goes up to girl at bar, it's like, hey, beautiful, and she's like, not interested. And he's like, well, you're ugly anyway.
yeah,
It's like,
like all
Exactly.
women suck.
you just said, hey, beautiful. What are you talking about?
It's the
Right.
entitlement. I think like men are so used to seeing stories that are people that look like them or think like them or talk like them
Or just
that
cater to
they're,
them.
Yeah.
yeah, that they're the second it doesn't cater to them, they get mad and then go and review bomb it. Like if you what was I gonna say about like any Marvel project with a lead who isn't white or female immediately gets review bombed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
Like
just not
and then
watched.
yeah, yeah, which and the marketing will reflect that. They're like, oh,
Yeah.
our market research shows people won't watch it.
Yeah.
Let's
The Wonder
release
Man
all of Wonder
marketing
Man.
was just
And
non-existent.
Wonder Man was phenomenal. I
Yeah.
really, really liked Wonder Man.
It is.
Um,
I think it's. They're trying to get an Emmy for it at least. Like they
and
are
Good.
putting
it
their
should get
marketing.
one,
They're putting their
honestly.
marketing behind that at least. That campaign.
Yeah. I just think
Um.
they didn't have any expectation because it wasn't a white man.
Yeah.
And it's just the entitlement of everyone should look like me or think about me. And I'm like, what about the people who haven't gotten the chance to do that?
Right.
And it's also like shown in the fan bases. Like Thunderbolts came out and it was this great movie about like found family and how you can come from
Yeah.
different backgrounds and still be one and the same and love each other. And
And like mental health.
yeah. And like half the white men I saw who liked that movie was like, John Walker's so tough. John Walker's so me. I'm John Walker. I'm like, you're reaching so hard for a white man, a strong white man to project on that you're immediately going to, he's so me about a man who got left by his wife for being a horrible father to their newborn child. Like,
Yeah. Don't get me
don't you
started on
want
John Walker.
relatability stories that kind of give breadth? Like, I relate to Clark a lot, and I don't have to be a white man to do that.
Right.
Yeah.
I just think people refuse to see themselves in women characters.
So a general thing across the fandom, is and this is just me getting my thoughts out, is when things are not meant for a specific viewer, that viewer gets upset that is not for them, but fails to realize there are more people in this world than just them. And it's just the ultimate like example of like selfishness in fandom.
Oh yeah.
You get it with Star Wars, you get it with, you get it Star Trek, you get it with DC, you get it with Marvel, and it's always, and it's not even about even like, a lot of the time it is about race, it is about gender, sure, but it's also like when they do kid shows off of these properties and they're like, this is for kids, what is this? It's like, give the kids Star Wars content, like give the kids Star Trek content. Why wouldn't you?
And also I will say, I was talking about this with my roommate like last week. Anytime I consume media that's like for kids, it emotionally and like intellectually impacts me more than something that like made for adults will. Like every like middle grade book I've ever read has made me weep.
I think it's because you got to boil it down, right? And you got to like make it emotional.
And I think there's a lot of kids media that is designed to grow with the kid. So you can see in shows like, my favorite example of this is Adventure Time, but in shows like Adventure Time, it starts off like a very episodic, like kitty, like haha. And then as it goes on, they understand the viewership ages. So it gets more mature, it gets more poignant, and by the end, it's like a really beautiful, cohesive story. And then even now, then it frees them up to do like adult content. Like Fiona and Cake is very much not a kid's show. Like she's drinking, she's doing all these crazy things. Like I think a lot is people don't understand that it's not just children's media. It's media that can be consumed by children as well as all ages. Yeah. Sorry, like if I get too into this, I'm gonna go way over whatever time we have. I did a children's media program.
I was gonna say this is like
undergrad.
Meg's so gonna get into their thesis.
I can't get it. I can't get into it, and why it's a good example for all ages on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of my favorite stuff. I'm with you. Some of my favorite stuff is the kid related, quote unquote, because like there's a difference between kids media versus like all ages media. It's like again, Superman the animated series, Batman the animated series. I watched when I was like really young. I was a kid. That was like my first foray. But that's also something that you could watch as an adult and go back.
Yeah, I think people like to equate the cartoon medium with something that's automatically for kids, even though it's not true. Like you look at, you're like, why are kids watching this? You should not be watching this at some shows. And like, it's a general like refusal to accept things in the animated canon, even though the DC stuff is like phenomenal for all ages.
Comics and animation have the same problem where people confuse medium for genre.
Exactly. We had a friend that was talking about, she's doing hospital visits with kids and was like, oh my God, I'm going to bring comics. And then I had to tell a horror story about when somebody donated comics to my old charity group and was like, you can give these out to kids. And then I looked at one, I'm like, oh, they're having sex on the first page. Like maybe we don't do that. Maybe we read the comic before donating it for children. But
that just reminds me of, there's a comic called Money Shot, and it's like a satirical comic about, I don't know. Anyway, whatever. It's a kind of exactly what it sounds like, but it's not. It's whatever. I can't imagine giving that out to kids, being like, here's a comic book.
Right.
And I know it started out as that medium, but like even in the early days of comics, they were very clearly being written for all ages. They were being written as a way, especially like early Marvel and DC, were written as a way to bring hope to the wartime efforts of people and kind of give kids like an inspiration to look up to, even when people were getting sent out and dying.
Right.
So I think it's very important to, I always suggest to read comics, but even if you're not a comic reader, and admittedly a lot of people aren't, the animated series can still be for you, and it can still be a good introduction. Like My Adventures with Superman, just put it on in the background. It's not going to be like a traditionally accurate Kara, but you're going to see these characters in action.
You're going to see like that influence.
Yeah, for sure.
You bring up like traditional accuracy, and that kind of ties back with the point of like so many different stories have been told. This is like modern mythology, so like there's adapted so many different ways. And then like I, as a Superman fan, get to watch My Adventures with Superman with the understanding in my head that it's not going to be the comics, and I don't need it to be, because it's just, it's a different vibe, and I'm okay with that. It's great. I love the
and like the way they did Kara, I was really invested into. Like I had never like connected with her as a character prior to this, and then I saw her, I was like, I understand like where she could come from now. And I'm very excited. I haven't watched the first episode of season 3. I know that just dropped, but
no, I haven't yet either. And I keep seeing stuff and I'm like, I have to go watch
don't
it.
Don't tell me. And it lets you appreciate like relationships in the comics that I mean in the show that like you wouldn't get to appreciate in the comics, or maybe you didn't appreciate in the comics. Like that show gives me like a whole new appreciation for Kara and Jimmy together. Like I think it's really cute, and I think the way they do it is really well done.
I love her and Jimmy together. I want to bring it back to CW because it was really funny when they originally cast that show, because like some people, I think dumb people, some people, those people just don't like a black Jimmy, which to me, whatever, it doesn't matter. That part doesn't matter. I think what's funny is that you have literally tall, dark, and handsome ripped guy with six-pack Jimmy, who then becomes a superhero. That's Jimmy Olsen?
That's CW. Everyone's going to be a superhero at one point, and you're going to like it.
But, like, he's just a model. Like, he's...
Yeah.
Or just Jimmy Olsen.
like, Jimmy and My Adventures. I like the
balance they strike with My Adventures.
What were you going to say?
I like the balance they strike with My Adventures between the two.
Yeah, he's a dork.
Yeah.
I also love his like his whole like Flamebird, how they made that like his like gossipy like media account.
Yeah, his blog. Yeah. It's also cool to see how they update that with the modern era. Like he's live streaming it, and you wouldn't be able to see that at like a Daily Planet standard type thing. Like even the ones they have in the new movie, like Jimmy's not going to live stream everything. They have Eve do it on purpose.
Yeah.
But I like to see how the technology changes and how you can adapt that into modern iterations of the character.
Because characters like Superman and his family have the Daily Planet. Spider-Man has the Daily Bugle. Like, how do those work? They don't work in the same way as in the 60s.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, you had people watching the Daily Bugle on their phones at No Way Home.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Well, the Daily Bugle there was like an Alex Jones type thing. Right?
Yeah, it was like an InfoWars type.
Yeah.
Which is very funny. And you know J.K. Simmons was having the time of his life, too.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's fucking fun.
But
I've been neglecting the chat box a little bit, but Farsendor says, "Poor Eve. I felt legit sorry for her. She was just clingy." So we're talking about the Superman.
I feel so bad for her.
And Jimmy's so mean to her for no reason.
Like, why is he bringing up her toes?
They just announced, not announced, like it's been rumored for a while, but it's just confirmed that they are doing that Jimmy Olsen show. Yeah. And it's Jimmy Olsen and Gorilla Grodd. So I really kind of hope they bring Eve into that. I think she could be really fun there. And I think the actress would probably be down, especially if you see like Peacemaker, how we got that Lex Luthor cameo there. Yeah. How like not actors who wouldn't traditionally be TV actors are willing to do it out of the love for these characters that's been put into the DCU.
Because they know that the quality is still the same with James Gunn. He's going to go to TV and movies back and forth.
Yeah, I agree. I love Peacemaker. Oh my God, I'm so good fan of that. Yeah, so they had the quality gap isn't there like you would see in like a DC show where like a CW show, where like Gorilla Grodd in Legends of Tomorrow was just there to kill Barack Obama. So, like, you're not getting that from a James Gunn show. It's my favorite clip. Oh my God. I send it to my two Smallville friends. I send that to them all the time because they're also big Flash people.
I love Legends of Tomorrow because of the time travel shenanigans. Like, Sarah Lance just sleeping with a bunch of, like, people, like the Queen or whatever in that one episode. And that's her.
Just let it happen, you know?
Great, you know? But so when we're talking about Supergirl, who is, generally speaking, her, like, supporting cast, the characters that revolve around her? Because it's very easy to just make a Supergirl that revolves around Clark, as opposed to one that stands on her own and has people surround her. Do you guys have any, like, favorites?
I mean, obviously, I love when Lena is there. I think, like, especially, like, I'm glad that it's Kara and Lena again in the 2025 Sophie Campbell run, how we're getting them together again.
It's a really good series.
Yeah. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're getting, like, kind of, like, modern info while also getting, like, that silver Bronze Age nostalgia, which is just really fun. And then you get all the pets. I think somebody in the chat earlier mentioned like Kara's like super pets. And like, I love how there's like all their cameos too, like Streaky. Yeah. I feel like that's, I think, my thing, this is a random tangent, but like with the new movie, everyone's like,
when people Crypto is Kara's dog. And are like, oh, it's Crypto.
Yeah. And everyone's like, oh, like Crypto is Kara's dog and like that's her dog. And I'm like, well, not really.
Yeah.
Like that's Clark's dog and she has Streaky. Streaky's her cat.
I love mentioning like superheroes cats. It's like I always, when I would do charity visits as Black Widow, I would bring Leho up every time without fail. I'd be like, oh, there's cat hair on my superhero costume. Sorry.
Is that Black Widow's cat?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not to be confused with Alpine, right?
Alpine
is Bucky's cat. Yep.
Yeah.
Both were on cat name lists if I got a cat in a specific color.
Yeah.
Not Streaky if you got like an orange cat.
Streaky's on my list.
Yeah, I feel like my thing with orange pets, I was actually telling Ophie this the other day, but my dream is to get like an orange and white pet, probably a dog, maybe a cat, and then name it BB-8. And then I would call her B. And that's my orange name in there.
That's cute.
My dream orange cat name that I've had since like high school is I want an orange cat and I want to name him Pippin, like from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Okay.
But Streaky is also up there now.
Streaky pops up every so often in things like just as a random cat cameo in like certain things. But
I wish they would do like a Marvel did Marvel Meow and Marvel Butts. I wish they would do a DC version with all their pets, especially
they've had like small runs of like the League of Super Pets and like
one of the anthology books. Wasn't one of the anthology books animal focused?
Have there been any recent ones though?
There was one I think semi-recently because I think Bat Cow was in it.
Bat Cow makes me laugh.
I love Bat Cow. But
because Damien has a bunch of
yes, Damien has like
he has like 4
depending on the continuity.
I was gonna say I always want to be like, oh yeah, well he has Bat Cow, he has Titus, he has Alfred the cat, he has like the demon bat and Goliath, but then I always forget that he also has like a turkey for some reason.
Each writer that comes on is just like, okay.
They're like, and it's my turn to add a pet now.
Right.
And I honestly like that because it gives kind of breadth to Damien's character that you wouldn't see otherwise. Like he is it
added to his growth a lot.
Yeah, for sure. Because you can see him caring about something in a way that he wouldn't otherwise.
I miss Crypto being Superman's dog.
I get that.
You know? So in the movie it's different, I get it, but also I want like a boy and his dog is like
I know.
Yeah, it's like a classic. Well, it's a classic.
I don't know if you read the Crypto, like the last dog of Krypton.
Ryan North's
that just
I love Ryan North.
I just want to say first and foremost, screw that run.
That one issue?
Was that the one that made you cry?
Yeah, I have a video of me sobbing on the sidewalk reading it.
That one issue, right?
Yeah, the one issue.
I was so hurt by it.
I know. I took like a selfie before I read it because it's only like 5 issues and I was waiting to tour an apartment and I took a selfie before and I was like, oh, like I can't wait to read. I'm reading outside. It's so nice. And then I took one on like issue 3 and you could see like one tear in my eye. And then after issue 4, I just have like tears all over my face and I'm bright red. And I was like, what is happening?
It was so sad.
And then on like my League of Comic Geeks, I was like, why would anyone ever write this? And then people were like, wait, this is sad. And I was like, it's very sad.
Who's saying it's what? Why would it? Okay. Anyway,
I feel like on Comic Geeks, people like to comment on things they've never read.
Yeah, because I think it was like something that they were like interested in, and they were like, oh, it's gonna be like a silly little Crypto comic.
Yeah, like they went in thinking it was a Marvel mutt or an It's Jeff.
Yeah. Well, in one of the most recent Marvel ones, it was like Marvel Unleashed or whatever. They have a very similar thing where you cry at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The literal, how do I put this? The literal rainbow bridge of Bifrost they make into the rainbow bridge that people talk about when pets pass.
Yeah, it's I don't want to think about it too hard.
Yeah. So, this character, you guys know about Comet, the super horse?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't even know what's up with Comet anymore because in Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, it's the old Comet, like the Comet that is a person also.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's very confusing. Comet is very confusing.
Yeah, it was a very random pull for that specific comic.
Yeah.
And I remember being like, what's going on here? Because that was towards the beginning of like my journey of learning more about her, like her.
A
I just remember being
horse
like,
human kind of creature that is in love with Supergirl.
yeah,
Yeah,
Eh.
I would be too.
that he is. Because I remember I didn't read any stories with Comet before Woman of Tomorrow, and I was like, oh, what the hell? My only frame of reference was like Barbie and the Magic of Pegasus, where they turned her sister into the horse. I was like, oh, is this a Magic of Pegasus type thing? And then it just kept going. I was like,
And then it
oh,
got weird and weirder.
yeah. And then he turned into a human.
But
Yeah.
I was like, let's go back to the beach.
Yeah, I liked when they were sisters in the Barbie movie.
Oh, we probably won't get Comet in the new movie.
I wouldn't think so unless
Well,
there's
yeah.
like some weird whim to like cameo him.
Like a
Yeah.
joke character.
I
feel like
It
because
depends.
like they are changing stuff, like
Yeah.
obviously like
Yeah,
adding like
with
Lobo and
Lobo.
stuff. So I would assume that like Lobo is hopefully gonna take up the time that Comet would have.
Yeah. And they also are like, I know they're not only changing Krem's design, but like kind of the
Yeah.
brigand's purpose, I heard they're changing a little bit of.
Mhm.
Mm.
So I think it'll all depend on how they want the plot to factor in with Lobo and with the changes they made. And on top of that, how they want that to play into the future DCU. Like, I remember they're saying they're going to visit Tamaran, but I don't know.
I'm
They wouldn't.
hoping. I was thinking
Yeah.
about that.
James Gunn did say that was one of the planets they
Oh,
visited,
yeah.
but I don't think they'll even get close to introducing a Starfire.
No,
No.
but
Like,
if we can see
Yeah.
orange-looking people with green eyes, I'm
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah, it does introduce the possibility of her
I
showing up
think,
later.
especially, I don't know if this is going to be in the DCU continuity or not, but they are doing a Starfire animated series.
Okay.
It's not
Yeah, they are.
continuity, but yeah.
Not continuity.
Yeah.
Okay. And then they're doing that Teen Titans movie, which I have so many questions about whatever that Batman continuity is going to be in the DCU, and it's better to just let them tell me.
I'll
Yeah.
believe it when I see it. They've
Yeah.
announced these movies for, they're
'Cause
always announcing.
they have dynamic duo.
Yeah, dynamic duo, and then
with Jason and
Damien is
Dick.
supposed to be
And
his
Damien,
Robin.
yeah, they're starting with Damien somehow.
That's
I don't.
brave and bold. Dynamic duo is Dick and Jason.
It's Dick
Yeah.
and but
Yeah.
then Brave and the Bold, because they said they were gonna fast track the Batman movie too, but I feel like they can't really release it until after at least the Batman Part 2, just because I think people will get confused.
So I have a theory that Batman will appear in Clayface, and
I would love that. I would love that
Awesome.
I just don't see it happening. I don't see Clayface happening the way
without that.
like Joker happened as a movie.
Yeah,
So
like almost Venom, like.
yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. I think Batman will appear in Clayface, and then we'll have an answer on what Batman is in this continuity.
What is whole? Yeah. Because I think they said he's going to be a little older than Clark, and the Clark is going to be 30s. So it would make sense. Because I don't remember what they said. It was something about like he was Batman for like 13 years or something, or they're at least going with like a teenage Damien or something like that.
Yeah.
But I also don't think we're going to see him in much after that for a while, especially because Andy Musichetti is the EP on Welcome to Derry, and that just got approved for season 2.
Yeah. I also, is Andy Muschietti taken off of Brave and the Bold yet? Because last I heard he might have been taken off, but I can't.
I didn't hear anything like that. Like,
I didn't hear about that.
I had not heard anything about that, but that would be interesting to note if so, because it would probably mean they're going in a different creative direction than what James Gunn wanted. And obviously, like my opinion on the DCU right now is we have to let James Gunn cook. Like
We have to take a step back and
went
let the
into
man cook.
Superman like, oh boy, I hope they don't mess up my favorite character. And they didn't mess up my favorite character. Like it worked out.
They made me love him more somehow.
So, and then Peacemaker also kept the momentum going. So I think we'll have a lot of answers we didn't have before after this summer with Supergirl and Lanterns and Clayface.
Yeah, there's a lot coming out that's going to kind of cement and also expand on kind of what.
Because it's hard from
When
like
is Clayface
such
again?
a small.
Clayface is
It's
October.
this fall, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Looks like Andy Machete is still on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So again, with Welcome to Derry, it might be a while. Because also, I don't know if they're letting him cast Batman or like if they want him in the room for casting or if James Gunn has final say, because it's hard to say because James obviously cast all of Superman because he was also the writer and director. And he cast Supergirl in that movie because of that. And he was the reason Momoa is Lobo. Yeah. So I just don't know how much of a hand he's going to directly have as opposed to Andy within all the Batman stuff.
Yeah, I feel like at the end of the day, like, it's going to be James Gunn with final say.
Yeah. But I don't know if he's going to go into the chemistry in the way he did for Superman, which is part of why we
finally have like the like Superman Batman like friendship. Like I want to see World's Finest on the big screen.
I want to see World's Finest, and recently I've been going really ham into what my most desired thing to see in like a fully compiled DCU, and I really want to see a friendship between Rachel Brosnahan's Lois and Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I really like that. I like whenever in like iterations they have them like revealing their civilian selves. I like seeing those two look at each other when Clark does something and be like,
right. Like he's at work, it's your responsibility.
Yeah. And I think that's such a good thing because I really like what Rachel does with the character.
Yeah, Rachel's Lois is amazing.
Yeah.
She's so good. She's so good. And I think it's really good to make her, in a way, to make her her own person outside of a damsel in distress context, but still make her believably a love interest.
Yeah. Who do you ship Kara with? Is it just Lena Luthor? Or
I like Jimmy. Characters? I like Lena.
Yeah, I like Jimmy specifically in My Adventures with Superman.
It's so cute in My Adventures.
It's super cute. I do think my like all-time for her is Lena, just because it's like my main introduction. But like my dream is to get my girlfriend to do Supercorp with me. I'm like, it would be so easy.
It's normal clothes, Gemma.
Right. I'm like, you just have to wear like an office outfit.
All you have to do. I like Kara. I like Jimmy. Obviously the DCU is a fresh slate. Like I'll have to see the dynamics with her and other people. There is an artist I follow that draws a lot of stuff with her and Babs, which I think is cute.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like I'm seriously dead set on this. This has to happen.
They're not like a ship for me, but I do really love their like friendship dynamic.
Yeah. I really like their friendship, and I hope that in an eventual DCU we'd see kind of that bond.
Well, whenever I see like a Kara and Babs thing, I send it to Brie, and I'm like, it's us.
No, literally, I do see it. I'm like, haha, you guys.
I like it when a member of the super family has an obvious bat double.
Yeah.
So like obviously like Connor and Tim, in whatever way you want, Ophie.
And then Kara and Babs.
Yeah.
And
Kara and Babs.
And then Damien and John, obviously. Clark and Bruce. I said this is why they had to kick Jason out.
Yeah, because he doesn't have a super.
I also like seeing Superman's influences on Dick a lot.
Yeah. I really wish
World's
that
Finest.
we were getting that. Yeah.
World's Finest is like one of my favorites for that because it's true. Like he grew up in the Justice League, like knowing this, like he was around. This was Batman's kid, like XYZ.
And then like even like taking on like the Nightwing mantle, that's literally all because of Clark.
Yeah.
And so it's like I was joking with somebody recently where I was like, he's literally like their son, like together.
It was me.
Yeah, it was probably us. Yeah,
it was me.
I was like, they raised him.
I do. It's very, to me, it's very Full House. It's very
Yeah.
So it's not that Bob Saget and John Stamos are hooking up for me.
No, yeah.
They're not. but maybe
Could be
join the
fun.
podcast right now for our discussion on it.
on Full House shipping.
On Full House RPF.
Yeah. So to
And
me,
I don't
that's
think it
not
ever
how it
has to
works.
necessarily be like I ship them romantically. Like
Like
in the way that I'm like, oh, like, you know, like when you have like your best friend and you're like, oh, like that's your aunt, and it's like
they're so intertwined.
Yeah,
and
it's an uncle situation to me.
Oh, for sure. I
for
like
sure. I
even
like when
if it
people are
was,
like, oh, he's Uncle Clark.
But
yeah.
at the same time, Bruce and Dick are Gilmore Girls in a way because they're
yes.
brothers and father son.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's just in the way they grew up together. And I
Yeah.
think it's really important to show that dynamic. So that's why I'm a little worried about them starting with Damien. But
I like the Damien idea for the movies because you can explore that the history has happened, so you can tell past stories, but you can also have
that's true.
Dick as Nightwing in the Titans. And that's kind of what people want, right? You could also have Tim Drake. You know,
well, because then that's, I think, my hesitation, where if we're starting with Damien, then that implies that Tim is already like what, like 17, 18, which like if Clark is just starting out, like we're not gonna get any of those other like we probably won't see like Impulse, we won't see Khan, we won't see like
I heard a rumor that they might like Impulse might be like kind of bigger than Barry. Like I heard they're starting with Wally. And
they should
giving him Bart. I do like
they're gonna give him Bart.
It happens. I like the way that it happens in the DCU where James Gunn was like, you all know Superman's backstory. I'm not doing an origin story because I respect that. But also at the same time, I think there's a line to be walked where you don't. And this is not I decide the line like I was saying comic continuities earlier. But there's a line to be walked in that you want to make it beginner friendly without telling all the origin stories, but you also want to give these characters the time they deserve to be on the screen.
But
like
I Superman did that though, right?
Yes.
Like,
it
walked that line very well.
But I think Batman, it's harder because his history is way more important. Like Ma and Pa, like we're always going to be a couple pages on a comic and an origin story. Batman has like, he has these sons and he raised them and they all have their own individual experiences and trauma.
That's the issue with Damien starting is that like we're not getting like Dick into Jason, into Tim, into Steph, into Tim again, into Damien. Like,
and then
you'd be lucky if Steph pops up at all. I think Steph is. I love Steph.
Here's hoping.
But I think Steph is skippable when you do adaptation, just like Jason is skippable. I think like
I'm gonna fully disagree with you.
I love Steph.
I love Jabin and I love Steph. But I also think you have to walk the, especially with Batman, you have to walk the line with really being able to tell the emotional toll the loss of Jason took on Bruce. And I think if you start out like 20 or so years removed from that fact, not 20, but like X amount of years removed from that fact, it might have a lesser impact.
But he's already come back as Red Hood, presumably.
Like it's a weird line that I'm just gonna let James Gunn cook, but it does make me a little apprehensive, especially because the guy who did it was the guy who did the Flash movie with the war criminal press tour.
Mm-hmm.
The guy who did the Flash movie, Andy Muschietti.
Yes.
I don't
Was he the one who did the Flash movie?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't blame him for the Flash movie. I hate the Flash movie. I hate it so much.
The baby in the microwave.
It was awful. And CGI Helen Slater and CGI Christopher Reeve. And then
I do get there's an extent you can attribute it to the failure of the DCEU. But it does make me scared for like being able to tie that much lore and kind of jumbled up stuff together, you know?
I think the reason, or at least the idea that like Andy Muschietti is brought on for James Gunn future projects means that James Gunn must know that the Flash wasn't Andy's fault.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that. Even though it was like kind of that was like his most technically recent project when they brought him on. Welcome to Derry has been getting like crazy good reviews.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm a big
can
fan of
respect-
Andy Machete and his like Derry universe. Like the It
Yeah.
Bible movies are
Yeah.
some of my favorite movies ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot to come with the DCU. The way Lanterns.
Yeah.
I mean, I have theories about Lanterns. I don't think it's as down to earth as it's showing.
I'm hoping.
Yeah.
I think it's a bait and switch. I think maybe the first 2 episodes might be in that cowboy town or whatever that they're doing.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I mean, at least I hope that's
I mean,
what
I
happens.
heard rumors that we're getting Atrocitus. I mean, there's rumors, right? Like, we're
Really?
getting... I heard the reason it's called Lanterns is because there's multiple core.
Oh, that would be a
That
pretty
actually,
smart,
I would really like that. And I would trust, again, I'd trust James Gunn to cook like that.
Yeah.
So I would really like that. That'd be
That's
cool.
what I
You
heard.
opened my eyes.
That it's not called Green Lanterns. It's not,
you got me there.
I'm wondering. I'm hoping. I have faith.
I was like, if not, like they should write that down. Write that shit down.
Listen to it. James, listen to it.
He's watching this podcast right now.
He's watching right now. He's actually so terminally online. He's here.
He's like, we got to do
He's like,
reshoots.
wait, that's a good idea.
James Gunn, if you hear me, make Calamawi Wonder Woman. You hear me. There you go.
Wait, who?
May Calamawi.
Oh, yeah,
She's the
yeah.
one who was Layla in Moon Knight. She's my #1 Wonder Woman fan cast. I know people are getting really hung up on the fact that she's short, but I think she's worth it.
I think we have to move past height in casting. There are other important things.
I fully like the Wonder Woman. People are so blindsided by they want Wonder Woman to be tall that they
Except
will
for like maybe like Giganta.
Yeah, they'll cast fan cast like the worst people.
I think that there's a difference when it comes to Wonder Woman casting between her and Artemis. I think Artemis should be a lot taller. Like that's why I like Artemis and Jason together, because like
Artemis,
she could just carry him. Great. But I also don't want small petite Wonder Woman.
I think she should be jacked, but I don't think her height matters.
I don't think her height matters, but I do think she should be like buff.
Like if you look at like Cami
she should be able to throw us across the room.
And when she was in Masters of the Universe, she was jacked. And like
who was
somebody with Cami Mendes,
who
was Tila and not Wonder Woman, He-Man.
Yeah.
Like you see her and she's like not necessarily like tall or bulky, but she still has the muscle on her. And like that's the minimum I'll accept for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like I want her to be jacked over everything else.
I don't think May Kalamawi's that short though, is she?
She's like, I think she's like my height, and people have told me I'm short, but I'm average. I'm solidly average.
I thought she was like 5'7" or 5'8".
She might be.
I think the thing working against she's 5'7". The thing working against her is her age. I
get that.
I'm not saying she's old. I think she's.
But you're saying she's older
to hinge a franchise on.
I can understand that, but at the same time, I do think she looks decently young.
Yeah, she looks really young.
She looks amazing. That's not saying
because she's not that much older than Corin Sweat, is she? Because he's like what, 32, 33?
32. She's 39.
Yeah, okay. So it also will depend on Batman casting. And
I mean,
and like how they go, like you look at Lanterns and Hal's like older.
Yeah. I don't like that.
My mom loves Kyle Chandler, so I'm gonna be able to get my mom to watch.
I do think this is gonna be a show for the moms.
Because
you're gonna be like, ooh, I like him. And then even Aaron Pierre, I think they're gonna be like, okay, I'll watch. Well, that's like, my mom is the least interested in superheroes of all time. Like she does not watch them. She doesn't understand them. She asked me if I was Wonder Woman every single time I went out as Black Widow. But she saw Aquaman because that Jason Momoa is so dreamy. So I do think low-key that Lanterns might be a sleeper agent for the middle-aged moms.
Yeah. Well, I watched Rebel Ridge with my mom the other day, and she like really liked it. But I don't know whether she was digging Aaron Pierre or not.
Mhm.
My mom has weird taste. I took her to see Superman, and I thought she would love David Cornsweet.
Yeah.
But do you know the two characters that she likes, like, attractive-wise?
Well, Nathan Fillion, I feel like she's
No.
gonna
In that
really.
cut, no.
I know not in that hair, but the moms love Nathan Fillion.
Lex Luthor is one.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
Lex Luthor, and
Mr.
the
Terrific?
other one is the wildest, but it makes sense, but it's the wildest. Perry White.
I was gonna say, was it Perry? It was Perry or Steve.
You know what? He was handsome.
She's a big fan of that actor, Wendell Pierce, and so
yeah,
I'm like,
guy.
My mom is a big Tom Welling fan too, so like
Okay.
that's her.
Aren't we all?
You know, Superman.
Aren't we all?
You know, yeah.
My mom didn't see Superman, but she does think he's dreamy, and she appreciates him because David is from the county where I grew up in.
Oh.
So I was like, oh my God, he's from Delco. And she goes, oh, does he like the Eagles? And I'm like, yes, he does.
He sure does.
I like him then.
He was such a great pick.
Yeah.
But as far as like Millie Alcock for Supergirl, did you guys know her before she was cast?
Yes.
I knew of her, but I hadn't watched House of the Dragon because I never watched like Game of Thrones or anything.
Yeah.
So I told myself I can't watch House of the Dragon unless I watch Game of Thrones, and I don't see that happening soon.
I didn't. So I haven't watched all of House of the Dragon, but I have watched enough of House of the Dragon that we got all of the young Rhaenyra scenes out of the way. So I liked her from that, and like when they cast her, I go, oh my God, it's Rhaenyra. But I also, what was that thing? She was just in a Netflix show too. Yes, Sirens with Dennis from Always Sunny. But Glenn Howerton, yes, that's his name that I'm just remembering now. But yeah, no, I had liked her, especially like in House of the Dragon, because I saw both of those young actors. I was like, I want to see you in more. And I think you're both super pretty, super talented. Like, I think I'm going to see them in more. But I was not really expecting Supergirl, and it was a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. I had only ever seen her in like edits.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
I'm sure you did.
Yeah. Clocked me.
Happy Pride Month.
I can't pass judgment on her until I see the movie.
Yeah.
I think she's
a good pick, especially with what we're seeing for the angstier Kara that we're going to get. I think if they were going more the route of like CW Supergirl or like her like older continuum, like then I would have a lot more reservations. But I think specifically because it is that Kara, I think she's going to do a really good job.
Yeah.
I also have been seeing a lot of criticism about the movie saying it's just like girl Guardians of the Galaxy. Just because she wears a Walkman and it's James
wears
Gunn.
a Walkman and it's
not
in
even
space.
James Gunn. I think people need to realize how much this is not a James Gunn. Like it's his.
He's producing
overall,
though.
He's the Kevin Feige, but
he's producing, but
but like it's not his. He didn't write it. He didn't do all that. Like it's not. It's just in space, and she has a Walkman.
Yeah.
Like,
and I will say, as someone who really loves the comic, like that's like I don't know if I said, but like my favorite comic that I've read. It seems like really close, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
It seems really close to the source material, which like with Superman, like you could see the influence of All-Star Superman, but was not heavily influenced like at all. There was like
so
bits and
rare.
pieces.
Like it's so rare to see a movie that directly rips from not rips, but like directly takes inspiration from a comic run and actually follows through on it. Like I'm gonna bring in my Young Avengers mention again, but my biggest fear is them just doing whatever the hell they want and not pulling from a comic as Marvel is wont to do. But I like how direct, like they can point you to one trade paperback and you're going to be like, this is going to be the movie with Lobo. And you can get an understanding or a feel for what it's going to be.
Yeah. And I'm really excited that they've been like bringing, I don't want to pronounce like her name wrong, but like Bilquis, like the
Oh,
artist.
Ruthie's actor?
No, like the artist. They've been
Oh,
bringing
yes.
her, and she's been on like all like the press tour stuff.
The promotional art she's done is really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest though. I think my favorite. I like Women of Tomorrow, and we're actually gonna do a little book club episode in like a week or so.
Nice.
For that book very specifically, but
Oh, I'm
I think the
excited.
Sophie Campbell current run is
I do really like that too.
resonating
I
with
still
me.
need to pick it up. Maybe I pick it up after I'm done Wonder Woman.
Yeah. I think with that run, I really do love it, and I love that it has brought in like this like cute little cast of people. Like I said, like Lena's in it. Like we have, and like it's like got like her parents and all that, but then there's also like new characters,
Yeah.
which I really love. I love I can't remember her like Law
Leslie Lar.
Leslie Lar
Leslie Lar. Yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah.
Like she's super fun. And like I said
If
earlier,
they
like,
do another LL name,
They're
Yeah.
always.
I
doing
really
LL.
like that. I like Superman's commitment
all
to
of
the LL
them.
names.
All of them in that, like all of her like side characters in that run are all LL.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's fun.
I think my only qualm with that run is that sometimes I think Sophie Campbell's losing a bit of like the voice of like she doesn't know if she wants it to read younger or read older,
Yeah.
which is my only qualm.
Do you guys think that they're gonna do like any kind of DCU synergy with this run and like upcoming iterations of Kara in the movies?
I think DC Comics right now is on such a roll. I don't
Yeah.
think
Oh,
they're
for sure.
And the Marvel comics have been doing like synergy after synergy. It's been crazy.
It's so annoying. When they broke up their recent Thunderbolts team just to get one closer to the movie, I was so pissed off.
Yeah. But like, and that's why like X-Men can't really go much further because they're trying to figure out like how are they gonna do everything with the movies.
And it bothers me a ton.
And they keep pushing Doom in the comics, like a lot of Doom stuff.
Yeah,
in
like the whole Doom Quest mini that's happening right now.
It also, and that's what made me mad when the whole Kang thing went down, because they were finally doing something with Nate Richards.
Yeah.
And they never did anything with him beforehand. Like he was a one-off in Young Avengers, and then they were like, oh, never seeing you again. And then when all of that went down, they're like, oh, let's abandon every single one of these storylines.
Yeah. What they are doing though with DC Comics right now is not storylines, but just putting similar characters together. So in Justice League Unlimited, Guy Gardner, Hawkgirl, and Mr. Terrific have gone to another planet on a mission. So that's like, okay, the Justice Buddies or whatever they're called. And Justice Gang, that's right.
The gang.
And Metamorpho, I think, is on that too. So
I love that.
Yeah.
Anthony Carrigan was so good as Metamorpho in the Superman movie. I had to bring that up.
Yeah.
If anybody's seen Barry,
I love Barry so much.
He's the best character in that show by far.
Yeah.
So when
No
they
Ho
were bringing
Hank
him into Superman, I was like, no Ho Hank, no Ho Hank. But yeah. I'm excited to see him in future movies too.
Yeah.
I just need more DC stuff. Like that's the thing. In the upcoming Lobo comic, Supergirl is making an appearance on this week's issue.
Okay.
And it's supposed to tie in with there's a Summer of Supergirl issue that's coming out.
Yeah.
And the premise of the Lobo one is kind of tongue-in-cheek. So they mentioned that in this, it's like Lobo's point of view of the same situation that in Summer of Supergirl you're going to see the other side.
Oh, I like that.
And
that's
so
fun.
this is Lobo
like
thinking he has a date with Supergirl. I think there's something and in which he's going to be the main character, but we'll see what it really is.
I like when they did that with John Kent and Nightwing a couple years ago.
Oh yeah.
I think that was a fun like tie-in.
Where it was like his like he was mentoring John.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they were both written by Tom Taylor, right? At that time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he was writing the John Kent like
Superman.
I don't think it was like a long run. I think it was like a limited series, right?
I don't remember if that was Son of Kal-El or John Kent Superman, because they were like one right after another.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I want to say it was Son of Kal-El.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that's in my, based on the time frame and when I got into them, I'm gonna say Son of Kal-El.
Yeah.
Because I think Jay was in it too.
J King 01 says it was Son of Kal-El.
Yeah, thanks, King.
So, and again, there are a good amount of people in the chat right now. Sorry we haven't been able to like refer to that. But if anyone's out there, youtube.com/The Keeg Show, if you want to see the chat. As we close up this episode, I want to go into like comic recommendations. I know we kind of touched on it in the beginning. If people are out there and they want to know more about Supergirl, if they want to read more adventures with Supergirl, like how do you start in today's economy? Because it's rough. It's rough out there.
Yeah, I totally get that.
I made a video recently about like what I recommend. But like I feel like especially going into the movie, of course, starting with Woman of Tomorrow, just because that's what you're about to see. But also I really like again, hits and misses, but the New 52 for Supergirl was like not bad.
Yeah.
And I think also like the Red Lantern Kara is like a very interesting plot point for her. And also, of course, the Superman Batman, the Supergirl from Krypton, because that's her reintroduction.
Yeah.
And then I think if you're wanting to know more about like her past stuff, like the Peter David run,
The Matrix stuff?
just to get like if you're wanting to know more about like what she was before she was like Kara again, like if you're wanting like that Silver Age, like back in like her old continuity. But and then I also think even though they're not necessarily like Kara canon, the new Supergirl Survive that's coming out, which is that Elseworlds run.
Yeah.
Just because it's more her personality and like what would happen if she was with Clark. And then I've been recommending this run a lot, which again isn't like continuity, but it's these graphic novels called House of L.
Ooh, okay.
Which has been, it doesn't really have much to do with Kara or Clark, like Zor-El and I can't remember his mom's name.
You just scroll back. Scroll
Zor-El
back.
or Jor-El? Zor-El and Alora.
Jor-El, sorry.
Jor-El and Lara.
Okay.
And Lara.
Lara, yeah.
Yeah. So they're in it, but it's not their story. But it has like all of this like you get to see like the political climate of Krypton right before it's about to fall. You're seeing like the I guess like the government trying to like hide that Krypton's falling, and like that's the reason that it even died, because nobody wanted to talk about it, and like all of like the politics of it. I think it's very interesting. And so like even though it's not necessarily canon, I do think it is very important like Krypton knowledge.
Yeah. There was also that sci-fi show Krypton, which was before Krypton's explosion. I like that show, but it was short.
When was that released? I don't think I know about that.
I watched it during the pandemic when it was already over, but it has the first live action Lobo, and he's pretty damn good.
Yeah. I like had heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
I don't think I've ever heard about that, which is crazy because I'm usually like generally in the know about those things. That's crazy.
It's a wild show, and they do changes to the lore that just work for some reason.
Okay.
There's some big spoilers that I'm like, oh shit. Okay.
Okay. I'll
have to look into that.
The premise of the show is that Adam Strange from Earth goes back in time to Krypton before it explodes. Because of some reason, I forget. But he essentially meets Jor-El's father. So it's not Jor-El that he meets. So it's Jor-El's father teaming up with Adam Strange from the present, who knows about Superman. He knows about
yeah.
And you get a lot of Krypton society stuff. You get like the different houses and the different like the different types of like scientist, warrior, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Where is that streaming?
I don't even know anymore.
Okay.
It might be on the it might be on the CW app, even though it didn't start up there.
I'm sure it is.
It might just be
It
on
all
there.
comes back to CW.
It all.
You know? But I skipped the show when it was out because I was like, I don't want this. It doesn't sound interesting.
Yeah.
It's way better than it sounds.
Interesting, especially because like I've literally never heard of it. So
Yeah,
this is the first recommendation I'm hearing for it.
Yeah. The Bambi Bimbo says, if you want a cute cover of Kara, DC X Sonic the Hedgehog Metal Legion number 4.
Yes, and they team
wow,
Kara up with
another
Cream the
fork
Rabbit.
in the kitchen.
They team Kara up with Cream the Rabbit.
Yeah.
I like those.
Oh yeah, your girlies.
My girlies.
Farsendor says, what show did they mention? Krypton, the sci-fi original series or whatever it was called. I think that when it comes to like Supergirl comics, like she makes appearances in a lot of random things, but like a solo series is like sometimes she has one and sometimes she doesn't.
Yeah.
If you want actual like queer representation, Kara, Dark Knights of Steel.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just finished that actually, and it was so good.
That's the one where she's with Wonder Woman?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's not technically Kara, but
is it not technically Kara?
Her name is like Zala.
Okay.
Or something.
Interesting.
We'll take.
I wonder if that was a rights thing that they were like, you can't make Supergirl gay.
I think that's what it was. I think they didn't want to make Supergirl queer. Because I think Diana's canonically bi.
Yeah, like Diana, you can do a lot with, especially like with Absolute and stuff. Because haven't read it, but I know that.
I did read Dark Knights of Steel thinking it was Kara, and then I picked it up, and her name's like Zala, I think, and she's Clark's twin in that.
I'm just taking it as alternate universe Kara. It is what it is.
Yeah.
You know?
And that's as we should. Because
DC
seeing the Kara and Diana like art and covers, I was like, this was made for me specifically.
I think DC is like way better with general queer representation than Marvel, especially because I love them. Don't get me wrong, I love them. But Marvel does a thing where it'll create a really good and well done queer character. And then once they come out as queer, they're relegated to only Pride issues for the rest of their continuities.
Yeah.
And I think DC, especially with Diana, like, and like even Constantine or like some like mid to high tier characters, they're willing to commit to making them gay, and they're willing to.
I will say though, they pull that with Connor Hawke a lot, where he doesn't really got his own stuff going on, but every Pride issue he's there.
Yeah, we were talking about it the other day that you were like, oh, Connor. I go, oh, is he the asexual one that I only see in the Pride issues?
Yeah.
But
yeah, I love Connor Hawke. I don't know what they're doing with him.
Yeah, I feel like when he's in the comics, he's very compelling, and I love him.
He's so cool.
He's so cool, and like that's baby, but like it's just like crazy to me that I'm like, you have this great legacy character that you're like, they kind of did it with Tim too. Once they made him come out as bi, I'm like, now he's just with Bernard in the corner.
Well,
yeah,
that's also what they do with queer characters. What I've seen is that they put them into a relationship real quick, because what they don't want to do is have just like
speculation,
queer, like hookups all the time. Like, because then they're like,
they do that with, and it's always with a civilian or like a civilian that then becomes a superhero. America Chavez is like really notorious for it, because for her first like 3 or 4 runs, she's had a completely different girlfriend. And they don't explain where she comes from. They're like, oh, this is Kelly. This is Lisa. And they'll just throw her in. And like, even with West Coast Avengers, and I love Ramon, she becomes Alloy later in the comic, but like, they just make up a character just to be the girlfriend or boyfriend or partner, just because they don't want people being like, oh, well, for example, oh, well, Tim's gay, and he's really close with Connor. So they want to kind of they want to give the representation, but then limit who they allow.
Like, I think that's why they did that with America, because immediately people were like, America and Kate, and then they were like, no, hold that thought.
There's gonna be something there, but that's just me. And I honestly think they were trying to throw us a bone with Tommy and David in those comics, because they're like, we have America and we know she interacts with Kate a lot and flirts with Kate a lot, but what if these random characters start dating, and you've maybe seen David twice in your life?
Yeah.
So, but they're one of my favorite couples, so don't get me wrong. But
who's the couple?
It's Speed, so Tommy Shepard, and
that's right.
Prodigy, David Aliene.
Yeah. I don't know how I feel about Prodigy. The way they explained Prodigy.
I like him as a character a lot.
Yeah.
He is on my Tamagotchi life island, but everything they did with the Nick series,
the new run,
because the author even was quoted saying one day, I didn't even learn the author's name, but the author was even quoted one day saying something like, I didn't really do research, I just kind of wanted a fresh start and make up my own versions of these characters. And
so exactly what happened with the Red Hood run.
Yes. Oh yes, literally exactly what happened, except DC canceled it. And Marvel
I thought that was kind of funny, because usually when they cancel a run, they'll like at least let whatever issues they had like come out. They did not let any other issues past that first one come out for that one.
It was all hands on deck, red alert for them though. Like,
that
I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm just saying they had to have been like, I don't even know what to do. What do you do?
They shut that down fast.
They were set into motion.
But like, does the continuity still exist? Whatever story was told in issues 2 and 3, I actually don't know.
Yeah.
Like, does that still exist? Like, where is Jason now? Oh, Jason's in Batman Hush.
Oh yeah,
Hush
he's with the Titans, or the Teen
Titans. Jason's with the group of children.
Oh yeah, that's right. In the what will come out. Yeah.
Yeah. The picture of so there's a 56-year-old woman at this party is so Jason with the Teen Titans right now. Like, why is he there? That's his kid brother.
I like the idea of him kind of like Damian getting animals. Jason gets like
adopting.
He just starts adopting kids.
Like in a good way.
I just think it's weird to have him as like a member of the lineup. Like, like he can be I'd rather him be like just a mentor figure. Like he's their Nick Fury.
Red Tornado.
Yeah, like I was gonna say, like he's their Red Tornado.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tornado or Hood, you know.
They're gonna be red.
Yeah. I want to thank you two so much for coming on this episode and talking about all things Supergirl and plus some. Because
we yap too much. Sorry.
Yeah, we got a little off topic.
This is what happens, and that's fine. Yeah. I'm supposed to steer the ship, and it's fine. We were on cruise control. It's all fun. Do you guys have any final thoughts about Supergirl? I'm trying to think about, like, is there anything that we didn't get to say? Somebody in the chat brought up Brainiac 5 and Kara. Oh, yeah. I love the two of them together. I do. But I also know that Brainiac 5 won't come back and live in the past. So I don't like it when Kara goes to the future and like stays there forever.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
It's not really my cup of tea. But that's what I was going to say. But I don't know if you two have anything else to say about Supergirl.
I think like my thing is just like I mentioned in the beginning, I think Kara is just such, like in her new iteration, just such a fascinating character, because like we can see like what something like that would actually do to a person, and how like Clark is like this beacon of hope, how she's kind of like this antithesis of that in a way, of like how much like our past weighs on us. And like I mentioned this to somebody else recently, but like, yes, like this gets to her and like heavily affects who she is. Like she's clearly traumatized. Like we've already seen like in all the promos, like she's like an alcoholic, like she's partying all the time. But like, as we know from like reading her comics, like it isn't what's gonna stop her. And like you can grow and you can like overcome stuff like that. And like I think that's where a lot of my admiration for her comes from, of like you can overcome your history and it doesn't have to affect you forever.
Mm-hmm.
And like nothing will damage you so permanently that like you cannot be something. And I think that like seeing that in a character, especially one that like is a woman, one that like I so heavily already saw myself in, was just very important. And I'm hoping that this movie really sticks true to that, and that other people appreciate and fall in love with her story.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's hard to follow that. I would just say don't be a dick to the actors.
Leave
Don't be a
Millie
dick to
Alcock
the writing
alone.
staff. Yeah, leave her alone. If not, give her bountiful praise for whatever we see. I'm excited for the movie. The it also brings to mind how people are review bombing it even with the movie not coming out. I don't know who at Fox News said something to the point where multiple of my like conservative family members were like, well, I heard that Supergirl movie failed. And I go, it's not out for another month. Like, I don't know where you're hearing this. So like don't listen to the noise, basically. Just
Yeah. Give it a
trust the
chance.
process,
Yeah.
support the movie.
Yeah.
I definitely think we got to put our money where our mouth is and show our support with our wallets.
For sure,
bit.
or else.
Yeah.
I'm hoping it resonates with mainstream audiences. Because,
with a.
You know,
I can already see a lot
it's a little bit different.
Yeah. I already see a lot of people online who like haven't necessarily like been interested in Kara before, or like don't know much about her, are already like, I can't wait for this movie. And they're already like, oh, like she's so me, I'm so excited. And I'm like, good, I'm glad that like people are falling in love with her.
Let party girls have their superhero movie, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer's coming back.
Brad Summer.
It's Le Seraphim Summer with Supergirl.
Yeah.
Iconic by mistake.
I'm excited about this movie. I want it to do well. I'm hoping that everybody loves it, and I hope that I don't know. Sometimes you can't convince the haters, but like I'm hoping some of the haters, kind of get proven wrong, right? Like, maybe they like it. I don't know.
Yeah. Like you see the Henry Cavill bros go into Superman and they're like, okay, that was a great movie. Yeah. I hope that they're willing to do that with a woman character.
Yeah, I hope that people are going into it at least with an open mind.
100%.
Yeah. I'm also hoping that like people who like crypto and people who like dogs can just
I know a lot of people are worried about it, but like
I had to be like, based on the comic, he'll be okay. And I also don't think they'd kill off the dog 2 movies in.
I don't think James Gunn's gonna do it also.
I don't,
especially after James Gunn like based crypto off of his own dog.
Yeah, I don't think he would do that.
Yeah.
And especially like I know he did do stuff to animals in Guardians 3, but like also that's like kind of the whole point.
I can't think about it.
Yeah.
I know. It's sad.
Quick thing before we get going. What's your favorite costume for Supergirl? I just want to know, because I don't think I asked that before, but it was on my questions in my head. I was like, huh.
Yeah.
I do really love this new one. I really like the CW one, like the basic one.
Skirt or pants?
I like the skirt. And then I think like the animated like white ringer tee with the mini skirt is also a classic.
It doesn't make much sense, but
no, but it's fun, and I feel like a lot of people see it and they're like, oh yeah, Supergirl. I will say the one that I dislike a lot, because I'm still currently making my way through it, is the New 52.
That's the one with like a sort of like one-piece swimsuit sort of bottom.
Yeah, it's
right?
kind of like a one-piece bathing suit, and then she has like knee-high boots, but there's like a cutout in the kneecap.
I just can't think about how much of a nightmare those would be to make, like if you're recreating it and cosplaying it.
And then like the like one-piece one suit also has like, it's all blue, and then there's like a red piece, but it's like only on like her crotch.
Oh.
It's so strange.
Yeah. Okay, fair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen the new My Adventures with Superman Kara suit?
Oh yeah. The
That
new one
is
is
so cute.
really good.
I like her with her long hair, but the
Yeah.
new one with the little skirt and like I think it's leggings under the skirt.
Yeah.
I think it's adorable. Like that is I usually cosplay Clark, but that is the only Kara I've been like, oh, I really like that.
Does she
I've
have a
already been
hood?
wanting to do. Sorry, what?
Is it a hood? She has something. It's either a
I
scarf
think
or
it's
a
like
hood.
a
Like a
big, it
bunched
looks like
hood.
it's a hood, but I also
It's like the stuff that you want. It's like a bunched hood.
oh, like the wrap hood
Yeah.
with the cape. Yeah.
I have
don't
already
know that
been
patterning still.
saying that like Kara is on like my plans, like My Adventures with Superman.
Yeah.
Like I really like that suit, but then they came out with her new suit and I was like, okay, so that's
Yeah.
next.
That helmet wig scares me, but that's my
I'm
favorite.
hoping we get multiple suits in the movie. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know if they will.
I don't
Honestly,
think-
Yeah.
with the cost of like a screen textured suit and stuff, I don't think we will, especially because they said that her cape was made out of extra fabric from the role that they did Christopher Reeve's cape with.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna stick to the homage of Christopher Reeve and
Yeah.
the unwillingness to get another costume more than anything else, especially because Clark's suit in Man of Tomorrow is so similar. So it proves a more of a commitment to like a standard.
Yeah.
This is the suit
I think if she
kind of
gets a
thing.
new suit, it's gonna be like in whatever she has next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Like maybe
But it would be fun to see
I don't-
more looks because she
Yeah.
has such a history of like all new suits all the time,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which they always look so fun. Like
I
every
think it'll
single one.
also
Like,
depend on like how they explain that they got the suits in this movie.
Yeah.
Like I know Clark had it made for her, but like
Mhm.
did Mom make it? Did it come from the Fortress? Like what is DCU's explanation to how they got the suits?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because
I'm
that's what they
excited.
did in the Superman Batman one, where he's like, here's your suit. My mom made it.
Yeah.
One more thing before I get going. They did the recent new history of the DC universe where they kind of
Yeah.
retconned her that she
Yeah.
is there in the early days of Superman, and then she does die, and then a lot of time passes, and then she gets resurrected, and that's what we see going forward. That way she is Supergirl when Dick is Robin, but then she's
Yeah.
literally the same age when Dick is
Oh.
Nightwing.
Yeah, because that's
That
what they
would
do with
make
World's
sense.
Finest too.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would make sense.
And that's Mark Waid. He wrote New History of the DC Universe and
Okay.
World's Finest.
Yeah.
I'm not mad at that continuity, honestly.
Yeah.
Like I think there's merits to that.
They do a similar thing
Weirder
with
things have
Cyborg
happened.
too.
Oh really?
yeah.
The new retcon for Cyborg is that he fought with the proto Justice League when Darkseid first invades, and that's but it's not technically the first Justice League story. JLA Year 1 is the first one, and then Cyborg is put on like stasis. So technically he's a lot older than the Titans, but because he's on stasis, he's the same age.
He's okay. That actually I like that. I
Makes sense.
admitted we don't have too much of an intro for Cyborg outside of the standard like Teen Titans show, Teen Titans Go, like the non-canon graphic novels and stuff. But that also makes sense. I do like the idea of like being able to mess with the ages in some circumstances more
Sometimes
than
you
others.
have to. Yeah.
Yeah.
To make it make sense.
Yeah.
My biggest unpopular opinion is like I liked the John Kent age up. I know a lot of people don't, but I was a fan. I know you don't, but
I just love the Damie John like
I
dynamic.
do.
They're
Have you guys
besties.
seen they did an animated, like a 3D animated Super Sons movie a couple
They
years
did.
ago. I thought that was so cute. And harking back to what we said earlier, the Lois and Batman dynamic I really liked because it's like, this is my husband's best friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was cute.
Yeah. Thank you both of you so much for coming on this show.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah.
Thank you for having us. This was so much fun.
It was great having you, especially first time Keeg guests. You two were amazing. Before we get going, I want to know, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug? Keep in mind, we're live streaming, but I take the audio and I make it into a podcast so people can't necessarily see your username. So yeah, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug? Ophie, you want to go first?
Yeah. So on Instagram and TikTok, I am at Uncanny Ophie. Coming up, I have a couple conventions, new suits that are in the works. I mostly am cosplay, but I've also been working a lot on new comic content. So you could look out for new comic recommendations and stuff like that. And yeah, that's mostly it for me.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Meg?
my Instagram is going to be God Tier Jade. My TikTok, I don't really do cosplay stuff on there, but it's Nick Miller's credit score. Sometimes on there I'll do like because he has like something like a negative credit score, New Girl. But I sometimes I'm trying to do more of this. We'll post like if you want to get into this comic character, here are 3 basic runs to read. I've been doing it with Viv Vision a lot recently because she's a niche favorite of mine. And I'm going to try and start cross-posting it to Instagram. What I will plug is if you're a Marvel cosplayer, you should follow the NYCC Nexus event. It's a big Marvel cosplay meetup with 1 person per character the Friday of New York Comic Con. I am an admin of it and very proud of what everyone has been able to do. There's an application process through a Google form where we like pick characters. Would say look out for that. And also on both Ophie and my Instagrams, we did a Batfam cosplay shoot a couple weeks ago.
So
and
those pictures
I
are
am
coming soon.
so excited for everyone to see the results of that. Our photographer cooked. We were using like smoke effects and everything. I smelled like a campfire, but it was worth it. Yeah, so those 2 things.
Okay. What were the 2 characters?
I was Steph and she was Tim.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. All right.
But we had
specifically Red
Faith
Robin,
and
Tim, and Batgirl stuff.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I love both those characters, so
Thank you.
I'm definitely gonna look into that. For anyone who wants to follow me personally, you can follow me on like Instagram at This Is Dimithri. I'm also trying to post more on my personal TikTok, but we'll see how that goes. Find out more about me there. But if it's all about the Keeg and comics and all the podcasts that we do, you can follow the Keeg at the Keeg Show on all social media, pretty much. TikTok and Instagram are 2 biggest ones at the Keeg Show. But we're also on like Blue Sky Threads, Facebook, that sort of thing. Pick your poison. No matter whether you're watching us live on youtube.com/The Keeg Show, or maybe you're listening to the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, etc., like, comment, subscribe, follow. Let us, know that you dug this episode. Doesn't cost you anything to like click a button. You can give back to this show, the many other shows that we do. If you want to give back monetarily, sure. Go to patreon.com/The Keeg Show and subscribe to a tier. We have a drunk episode there that you
that's beautiful.
You can only watch on
Are you taking applications for someone to join you for the next one?
If you,
get us in.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
Put me in, coach.
I would love more drunk episodes. We could do more of those. Also, I think if you subscribe, you get a Keeg t-shirt after like 3 months. It'll just send you a Keeg t-shirt. So that's cool. If anyone out there is going to San Diego Comic-Con, I don't know whether I can officially announce it, but hey, who's watching this,
James Gunn.
James Gunn, he's here.
James Gunn.
Remember?
Well,
James, he has ears on you right now.
I hope James comes out to the 2 panels that we're doing at San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, that's awesome.
Both of them are on Sunday. We're doing a Comics for Education panel at Comic-Con, and then we're doing a 90s cartoon draft panel. So one's educational and one is fun and funny. So definitely, if you're at San Diego Comic-Con, drop by. Those are both on Sunday. But I'm going to be there the whole week. It's going to be crazy fun.
We're excited for the content to come from it.
Yeah. I'm planning like a whole thing.
Are you like going to Hall H?
You have to like really like camp out.
I was gonna say, are you camping? Like I understand wanting to go to Hall H, but also like you want the experience of the convention.
Yeah, I go every year, but at the same time, this year is different because So the Comic Talk crew, which are like 10 of us that do Comic Talk every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, we're all from like all over as far as like Switzerland, but we're almost all of us are coming down to San Diego. So
that's so fun.
It's gonna be like
I love that.
Crazy meetup of like 10 plus of us. Not to mention all the other people that like we all know and meet up with. So maybe I might waste a day on Hall H, or maybe I won't. And there's going to be a lot of things to do. So
you always got to figure it out.
Yeah.
And because the schedules aren't announced yet. They only go live like...
The programming schedules haven't been announced yet.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
To the public, yeah. But, yeah, so I'll have 2 panels there. This was Supergirl 101, a beginner level introduction to Supergirl. We also have a sort of book club episode for Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. That is Sunday at 6 p.m. Pretty much this time. So 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. If you want to tune in, all you got to do is just read the book before and then hop in the chat and we'll just kind of have a discussion about the book.
Oh, I love that.
As well as when the movie comes out, definitely going to do an episode on the movie itself. So, a lot to come, but definitely stay tuned. Again, at the Keeg Show on TikTok and Instagram. Anyway, that's a lot of stuff to talk about. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shops, support your local public libraries. That's pretty much it.
Shout out Atomic City.
What's up?
I'm shouting out Atomic City Comics.
They're
my favorites. They're in Philly.
Oh, they're in Philly. Okay.
Yeah, they're in Philly. Sorry, that's where I went to undergrad. But my favorite people, Black owned, nicest people you've ever met. I took my graduation pictures there.
Atomic City Comics?
Atomic City Comics. It's on South Street in Philly.
Okay. I go to Comic Book Hideout in Fullerton, California. So
good to know. I've been meaning to check out a couple around here, and I know there's a good one in like downtown LA proper that I got recommended to me. I think so.
Golden Apple's where all the celebrities go when they're when they're doing a new movie. The celebrity will like go to Golden.
They pretend they read the comics.
Or maybe they do. Who knows?
Maybe like the only one I trust at this moment to have actively read the comics is Iman Vellani, who's Ms. Marvel, because she's my goat. I love her. Sorry, my cat decided to take now to step on the keyboard.
It's the end of the show. It's okay.
I know. He made it 2 hours with not stepping on the keyboard.
That's a lot of self-control.
He has Discord messages to send.
He does. He loves messaging the Discord.
It's the meme of the cat.
Right. Like
he loves it. He literally does.
Yeah.
Look at him looking at the keyboard too.
Either way, thank you so much, Ophie. Thank you so much, Meg, for coming on the show. Thank you to everybody out there for hopping in the chat. The Bambi Bimbo, J King 01, Far Sendor. There was a couple other people as I scroll up, but there's a lot. They were chatting up a storm there.
We love our yappers.
I can't even scroll up all the way. There was a bunch of people up there. So thank you guys so much. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been the Keeg Talks Supergirl 101. See you guys next time. Go see the movie in like a week. Bye.
Ooh.
Bye.
Thank you.
Super fast, gotta beat the boss and get the loot, cause it's the king.